Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to 3DHP. My name is Jerry. Welcome to another wonderful Saturday afternoon hangout. I've got 2 guests in the back room. Now I've got 3 guests in the back room. We're going to bring them right in. And all the guests that are here, if you check 1080p, well, you can see it's in 1080p on your settings. If you set 1080p, you'll be in 1080p. But yeah, let me bring in the 3 guys. We'll welcome people in chat and we'll get the party started. Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Pretty good. Hey, Liam.
Howdy.
Hey, Tim. How's it going?
Hey, buddy? Good afternoon.
Oh, someone's got goodies on his desk.
This just came in like 3 minutes ago. I don't remember what it is.
I got a beeline for anything that says Amazon, so I.
Hey,
let us guess.
Kieran,
3D
hello,
printing
Facebook
parts.
user. Those watching on Facebook, right above the video, it says StreamYard/Facebook. If you click that, and there's some kind of an acceptance thing, that way I can see your name on stream. So if you click that accept thing, that little tiny link there, we'll see who you are. Otherwise, you'll have to come over to Facebook because I don't know who you are. But hello, everybody. Hello, Dominic, Carl. So, T. Sparky, what's going on? Yeah, last Saturday, I got 2 donations. I got one from one man for $25 and then one from another man for $125. And I wanted to put that towards Facebook Pro, which I did. It's $49 a month. I was paying for 720p, $25 a month. And if I had endless amounts of money, if you buy a year at a time, you save $116 a year. But if you pay monthly, it's $49 a month. And if you buy it yearly, it works out to $39 a month. So I'm on Pro. I can multi-stream up to 8 destinations or have people on and, do all kinds of goodies with it. But the primary reason I wanted better quality to be in 1080p. So that's what we currently got going on. And thank you very much for those who donated to me. And if anybody ever wants to donate or help out, I've got a PayPal link there. You can super chat me. Anything you give or ever want to help out with is amazing and it helps out. So what's everybody up to? What's going on?
3D printing.
Yeah, 3D printing.
And 3D printing and 3D printing.
Good.
I'm actually going to set up my telescope later on. And I'm going to set up my camera on it. And if I'm thinking of live streaming from my scope. So we'd actually be able to see Jupiter and Saturn and maybe the moon as well from my scope this evening.
Oh, nice.
So and then I live stream on my channel.
I think our new civilian astronauts are coming back today, aren't they?
They are. They're coming back this afternoon at 4:15, I believe, Pacific.
Okay. Well, if we see it's happening or somebody catches it, let me know and I'll show it on screen.
Well, let me double check that.
I get demonetized and I get demonetized, but I don't know why I
Maybe
would.
Should double check that.
Always happen. So what's new with you, Matt? What do you got going on?
Well, I was a little bit lazy. Been doing basically nothing much except I've done 2 things or 3 things. I have. Hold on, let me switch the camera.
Hi, Maker.
There you go.
Nice.
That's what I've been doing.
Oh, you printed that out of resin, right?
Yeah, I printed that out of resin. I still have to grind down the edges.
Yeah.
Because I have the supports on it, as you can see right there.
I use those soft nail files. They work really good.
Yeah, I just bought some. I don't know if you can see them.
Yeah. That'll work good.
Okay, Jerry, at 4:06 p.m. PST, they're landing.
4:06, okay.
So just around 4 o'clock, you'd be good time.
That's
3 hours.
3 hours from now.
Yeah, roughly. Yeah.
And I stream 2 to 4, so we should still be here.
And
that's the Triceratops, I think.
Yep.
Okay.
Missing his nose, the nose horn.
yeah, right there. I broke it off, but it looks okay. I mean, really smooth.
How long did the moon take to print? One of the Facebook user wants to know.
What? Which one?
That's not a moon.
What'd that take? Like 4 or 5 hours?
Actually, it took me around about 8 hours to do.
Okay.
because I had to do it vertically, in an angle. So, because I just couldn't put it flat on the building plate. Because if I would have done that, then the suction would have destroyed it. What I'm doing right now is, hold on, I can show it. Come on.
Oh, I got one of those printers, Tim.
Do you?
Yeah.
This guy?
Yep.
See,
Oh, that's a little toaster. Or yeah.
Yeah.
that's how I have them orientated.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
Do you want any previews of it or what, Tim?
Sorry, have I?
Do you want any previews of it, or are you just going to go it on your own?
I'm going to go on my own on this one.
Okay.
I'm just going to do it. I don't know if I'm going to do a live or not, but I got it because I'm going to eventually start teaching the little guy about it, and this is going to be a perfect one for it. So, yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you're going to teach him about it while you're unboxing it, I would tape all of it, and you can edit it and make a real nice little video out of it.
Yeah, I don't know why it says Android on the front.
Because there's a cable that comes with it, and from their website you can download pre-sliced files, save them there's a cable that goes into your Android phone. You can save it to the SD card through that cable over USB, and then put that into the laptop, into the printer to print.
Oh, okay.
This is the print quality from it.
Yeah, Carl says leave it in the box, Tim.
Leave it in the box.
There's a print quality that Liam did on that printer.
Okay, that's not bad at all,
It's not bad for the Katie's printer, and it does other like this.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's
for making little drawings for a kid, fine.
Mine wouldn't print out of the box, so I had to take mine apart and repair it.
Oh, okay.
I know others who've gotten them and it prints fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not a terrible printer. It's noisy.
Hey,
right.
Most printers, it's noisy.
Tim, the build plate's 2 inches by 2 inches. Did you know that?
80 by 80 by 80.
That's about 3.5, about 4 inches by 4 inches.
80 millimeters cube.
So I you guys have probably been seeing the drama I've been having with the atom stack and that hot end.
Yep.
So they are going to send me the new piece, and apparently it's by design. So they were saying that I don't know if you saw they put a notice out or a memo on their Facebook page saying don't assemble this hot end on your own without our permission.
Yeah.
Which I probably lost in translation. But
it was like a 3-inch piece of PTFE that had a flare on one end, and that's all it was, right?
Yeah, and it's but the PTFE that's actually the heat break. So it screws right into the heat block. So it's all plastic that's going into the heat block. But what they do when they build this is they actually glue it in there, so you're not meant to take it out. Which,
well, they don't last forever. So,
but the problem on mine was there was a leakage in there. My nozzle was bottomed; it was tightened right up against the heat block. Okay, so obviously when they tightened it. They tighten the nozzle up against the heat block. You can't. There's no more room to tighten it further to close that gap a little tighter. So, what I ended up doing while I'm waiting for the part is I figured, what do I got to lose? So I took the heat block and I took a tap and I used the right size thread and I cleaned those threads right out because they were full of plastic gunk from that PTFE heat break. So I cleaned out those threads. I was able then to thread that PTFE threading heat break back into it, but it's only using about the bottom half of the threads because the top half of the threads are thrashed.
wow. Yeah.
So, and then it's printing fine now like that, but I don't know how long that's going to last. So the other issue I'm having is with those dumb ribbon cable connectors. Those things are awful. Don't ever get them.
Well, the Focus printer has ribbon cable, and the Artist D has ribbon cable, but it depends on how they're connected, right? The Artist D use actual metal connectors. It locks into place.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
The Focus does not, and I reported an issue with the Focus one, because in the Focus, the ribbon goes along the X gantry and then loops around into the hot end, into the extruder, right?
Right.
Here's the problem. Where it loops into the extruder, it's about 8 millimeters lower than the one attached to the X gantry. So what happens is when it travels to the far right of the X, it's putting tension on the ribbon and doing this, and
Right.
it does come loose during a print again.
Yeah.
So I reported this to them, and they know about it. I found a few issues that I've reported to them that are design issues that could be fixed.
Right.
So I've reported those, but you're probably experiencing something similar, are you?
Something similar, and the fact that you can switch hot ends out on this, so I can take this 285 off and put the 175 on.
That's lovely.
To do that, you've got to unplug that ribbon, but unplugging that ribbon back and forth, I find the little pins at the tip of it bent real easy as well if you're not very careful.
What does it look like? Is it flat ribbon or is it a connector?
It's flat ribbon. It's just flat ribbon going in, and then on the actual head, there's a little, it goes into a white piece, and there's a little black plastic piece that locks it in.
Yeah,
Well,
that's the wrong way of doing it.
On this head, the white connector, there's a tiny little piece that broke off, and that black connector doesn't sit properly. Right now, it's just kind of sitting in there because I kind of forced it to stay in. So, yeah.
Okay, that's a design flaw because those connectors, the both ends, the part in the head and the part at the end of the ribbon should be metal, and they should click and lock into place.
Yes.
So not plastic, none of this plastic crap, because the part is going to be regularly moved. So it needs to be properly locked in. So it's similar to what's happening with the focus printer. And I reported that. That is a design flaw, and that should be reported as a design flaw.
Yeah. Like I've got where's my close-up camera even on? Let's see. No, I don't think I plugged it in. But this ribbon, they give you spare ribbon cables too, which is interesting.
Yeah, but if the connector's damaged, the ribbon cable is pointless.
Yeah, hey, Tim, on your close-up camera, on the back of it, you have a light button on the top right. You have what looks like a focus button on the top left. The bottom, you got a plus and a minus. Whenever I get near a print, I've never been able to get it to focus properly. Which button do you hit?
On the back of it, to manual focus, it's a square with a little plus sign in it. That's manual focus mode.
The top left button.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
The plus and the minus are the brightness of the light.
Do you have to hold it, or you just put on your object and touch it and click it real quick?
Just put it on your object, touch it, and it should autofocus.
Okay, because every time I've tried it, I'm watching the screen. I haven't seen it readjust at all.
Mm. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's the right there. That's the ribbon cable that's on it. That's all. That's it. Just that flat end. Yeah.
Well, focus use the same type of ribbon, and there is an inherent, but theirs does not lock in, and there is an inherent issue with them, and it's bad design on with regards to it.
Yeah, my son Carl has had his 2 shots. He caught it, and then my grandson, which hasn't had his shots, caught it, and it was like a really bad cold, and they got over it, and they're really weak. And my son's chest was hurting when he would, get up and walk around. He had to go sit down, and
that sucks, Carl.
They got over it, buddy. I hope you get better, Carl.
I know some people who for like 8 months later are still feeling side effects from it. They feel fogginess in their head. They have breathing problems still. So like it's going to vary from person to person, but some people are just are really fighting trying to get over it, and they're just not succeeding. They have memory lapses and all.
And I retightened up the 2 belts on my Kai Wu mat, and I'm reprinting that Goth mug from Clock Spring right now. And I originally kept getting layer shifts about 1/4 of an inch up, but I'm octolapsing that, and I'm reprinting that right now. And then over on the Focus printer, I just got done printing the Captain America, the dead version of Captain America. I forget what it's called, and that was like for a 42-hour print, 0.20 layer height, layer 644, 20 at 4% infill. Now, if I would have resin printed that, I would have done the whole thing in like 8 or 9 hours, but something like that. So, and I currently got it glued together and primed. I'm working on a video for Focus right now that'll hopefully get out tomorrow night.
I'll be back in a second. I'm going to get a print started.
Okay.
Oh, that's better. My camera was way too dark.
So how many days without accident?
This will be number 2 coming up this Sunday because last Sunday I wasn't here.
I
So that
don't
was
count
easy.
that.
Yeah, you had a lot of great pictures. Thank you for posting them.
Yeah, no, it was. I had a great time out there. It was beautiful. It was a
Hey,
nice
Karen.
visit. I haven't seen him in
Hey,
3
guys.
years.
How you
Hey,
doing?
Karen.
Good, good,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Hello, Kuma Mods, Matt. Anybody wants to drop in, there's a link right above there. If I know who you are, I'll let you drop in so I don't get trolled. And as you guys come in, you can set 1080p in StreamYard. Instead of it defaults to 720p, but I'm on 1080p now. So what's new, Kieran? Anything up?
No, I just finished burning in my new Micro Swiss hot end on the nameless printer behind me.
Hey, Thomas.
Uh,
Hey, Brandon.
It smelt for quite a while till it burned out. I mean, I did a 22-hour print to make sure it's all nice and good, but it definitely smelled hot and oily for a few hours.
Huh.
It was a brand new Micro Swiss, so which is good, but it definitely did a good job. 22 hours later.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Owie. There we go. Another one of Clock Springs magnetic containers. So detail on that came up really nice.
Dude, ever.
Very nice. Yeah, Maker Viking. Thomas, I didn't see.
Did you print that in the resin printer?
No, FDM. I've only got the one FDM printer. That's it.
No, I mean, could I print that in the resin?
Yeah, yes.
Theoretically, the issue is the print and place hinges.
I've never tried anything that moves in resin, but I don't know. It might work.
There's a lot of, because the tight tolerances and getting the resin to drain from the hinge points, they tend to bind because it doesn't drain very well because the tolerances are so tight between the hinge pins. So a lot of people have problems because of the resin doesn't drain. It tends to hang in the gaps, and when you bake it, it locks them up. That's the only problem with some of these. Some people have had them work, but it depends on how tight the tolerances are.
All right.
I mean, you can try it with something like you got the Flexi. I'm getting.
You're echoing.
Is it me or somebody else?
On. Or they got Facebook running. Just catching it.
No, it's not mine because mine's turned off. Yeah, so try it with something like a Flexi Rex or something similar like that, because the Flexi Rex has got quite a lot of tolerance built into it. Something like the slug. People have a lot of problem with using resin with the slug because once again draining from the overlapping half shells on that. But you can try it on something like small like that, like a Flexi Rex or some of the Flexi things.
Now, Thomas, you snuck in. I didn't see you come in, so I've seen other people commenting to you. Hello. That's all I was saying.
But it's just draining. The draining from the tight tolerance hinge points is the issue. You don't want to. Yeah, like you says, you don't want to waste 2 or 3 hours resin printing and finding it's just gluing itself together around the hinge points.
Hybotics, when I replace thermistors or heaters on my FDM printers, I never run the wires all the way to the control board. I go up 4 or 5 inches. I cut, splice, solder, put heat shrink tape on it. I don't want to mess with going all the way to the control board and plugging it in. So it's fairly simple process. I mean, there have been quite a few times where I would just wrap the wires together, put heat shrink over it and tape it, and then put the wire loom back over it. The best way to do it would be to solder it, or have connectors you can disconnect. But I only go up, like I say, 3 or 4 inches up above the hot end. I don't run it all the way. So.
Right. I thought when I did the hot end of this, when I changed the hot end out, I thought I crushed my thermistor. I turned it on. minus 25 degrees was what it was showing when I powered it up after the hot end change. Oops. So pulled out my spare hot end, put it in, same result. All right, pull the whole hot end out. No, luckily it was just the connector cable at the actual hot end itself. I knocked it loose when I swapped the hot end over. Phew.
Yeah.
Because there's such a delicate wire on the end of those thermistors. They're a pain in the ass. Why they don't put a stronger wire on them? Or yeah, exactly. Or a sleeve both wires with an outer sleeve, and put a heavier wire at the end, because that's just a weak point, changing those damn wires. And trying to put JSTs on into those wires is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I got to start a rainbow print behind me while we're talking on the Focus printer, and I'm working on the video for it. And I was looking at clock spring. I'm thinking, okay, Carl done the vase. I forget what it's called. Tripod done the same base.
Necromancer vase.
Yeah, Necromancer. And I was thinking, well, I could do that at Rainbow and do the same thing. So I'm debating on what to print for my last print on the Focus, so I can get the video done tomorrow. So I'm trying to think.
The downside about doing the rainbows is the silks have a weaker layer adhesion because of the additive.
I've never had trouble printing Rainbow.
Yeah, no, you probably have no problem printing, but if you want a part to be strong in any way, shape, don't use. Well, obviously you want to avoid PLA if you can, but if you're stuck with PLA, don't use silks, because silks are not strong.
But Jerry doesn't do vase mode. He does them nice and thick.
Yeah,
yeah. This is Josie silk, and I could almost knock you out if I hit you with this. My layers are 644, 5% infill. It's not a 1/4 inch thick, but it's very thick. It's very heavy duty. I don't do vase. I've done vase mode once on a vase. It was 500 millimeters tall, and you can look at it and sneeze on it and crush it practically. I don't like things that are that thin. So anyway,
unless it's Tim's spread dispenser he has beside him there on the table.
Yeah,
my spread dispenser.
Yeah, your squeezable spread dispenser.
Yeah.
We'll leave that one alone.
Hey,
yeah.
I made a grilled cheese a while ago with bologna on it in a skillet, and I actually put a tiny little bit of Vegemite on the bread. But I can't spread it on the bread, but I put a tiny bit on.
Yeah.
I figured I got it covered. I might as well slowly eat it up over time.
Here, you got a convert.
I know. It grows on you like a rash. It does grow on you.
You know, some rashes you need penicillin to get rid of.
Yeah. But casseroles and things like that, Jerry, throw a spoonful of that, which wonders. Yeah.
And let's see my laser. I'm going to show you a picture here, see what I got going on here. No, it's not that one. Well, yeah, that'll work, I guess. Let's see, I got another picture somewhere, better one. All right. Move my ghost. Anyway, I got a hold of Astro Printer a couple days ago, and we were in a private chat, and he helped me get all my coordinates set up right to get this thing working properly. And then I got a wasteboard put down. And you can see all these weird lines where it didn't burn. This is just plywood that, when they make plywood, they glue the layers together, and it's harder wood or something. It didn't burn through it. But I've got it mounted on a piece of 3/4 inch plywood, and my wasteboard is mounted on top of that. So, and just need to print a bunch of goodies out now.
How do the end stops work out?
I changed my mind. I was putting them on, trying to figure out how to wire this and wire that. I said, you know what? I don't need them. So every time I start it, I'll just bring it down here, turn it on, take it to the center, and I can line up and burn. I don't need to have end stops. So I wound up changing my mind on it.
Less things to go wrong.
Yeah. But you always put a mark in the center of your grid saying this is the center. Yeah. And then what you could do is then put it in the center and have your center as origin, and then just line up the laser beam and do a quick fire in the laser beam, push the button to fire the laser beam, put it over the center, and then you just go from there, right? That's all you need to do.
And here's one other thing I did. Let's see if I can show you here. I got these little business cards from Amazon. They're paper thin. They're black. They feel like plastic, but they're supposed to be stainless.
They're aluminum.
They're aluminum, but you can see a little tiny printer there. And then you can see a roll of filament. It's just a little tiny
printer.
Yep, and then I tried to burn a picture of my wife, but it burned for too long. It took many hours, and it didn't work out right. So, but this did work. So,
well, it didn't work because you didn't have grayscaling enabled, Jerry.
Yeah.
And for some reason we haven't figured out yet why you don't have grayscaling option. But if you have grayscaling enabled, what it will do, it will probably do a better image of that you have a photograph, right? Right now it's burning on or off. It's not doing proper pulse width modulation or grayscaling properly, and that's why images don't shade.
Well, I'll keep working on it. Hopefully it's not the laser, and I know I got it wired right. So, Matt got a new resin printer in the mail. Cool.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just waiting for my ABL leveling to run. I'll be back in a second.
All right. Yeah, Tim, your video, I watched it last night around midnight. It was real good.
Oh, thanks.
About the vacuum seal product you got. Really cool.
And that's it this morning.
Good.
It's still sealed perfectly tight. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've got I've had one bag that I got a slight puncture in through the filament end. Otherwise, they work really well. They hold weeks and weeks, no problem.
yeah,
And I've reused them quite a few times.
If that sucked down really super tight on the spool on each end, you might want to put the desiccant against the filament when you suck it down, because if there's
Put it in the middle.
In the middle. That's what I line it up for. Yeah.
if you put it in the middle and that tube is solid all the way through and it's sucked down tight, it doesn't. It ain't doing anything.
that makes sense.
If you put you know what I'm saying, it can't absorb anything.
Yeah. Or
And that
put it
looks
in one of these.
it looks like it has it sucked down awfully tight.
Or put it in one of these side grooves here, because that does have access to the filament here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it works well. I mean, it was $35 for the pump, 12 bags.
Yep.
So it's not bad.
The only thing I find, it's temperamental on power sources.
Okay.
I've got a high voltage one for my phone. It doesn't like it for the USB-C, and it runs happily off my USBs off my computer,
Okay.
and it runs fine on a low speed USB-C charger I've got. So it is temperamental on the power source. That's the only thing to be aware of.
Yeah. The only
Otherwise, they're great.
My only disappointment was that I figured it would be rechargeable, but yeah, but that's it.
But everyone has.
If my son is
more
still
watts.
watching, 1 second, guys. If my son is still watching, my ex-wife, his mom, is supposed to pop up tomorrow. I have to confirm it because I want her to get me an Amazon shirt and hat, and I'm trading her for a couple of my prints. And I'm not sure, Brandon, if that's still happening. I got to message her on Facebook later and see. I know you guys are going to come up and visit tomorrow, Monday, but I'll let you know what's happening on that. And we got Renee. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, Renee.
Hey,
Done.
Lego Man.
Hey. What's better?
Do we have any good news regarding packages from overseas?
Yeah.
I cannot. Can you hear me?
We can hear you just.
Okay. I wonder what I did wrong.
How many rails are on the CR10 Smart? Is it just 2 rails, or does it have 4? How many sets of wheels are there? I mean, is it 1 rail with wheels on both sides, or does it have 2 rails with multiple wheels? Because on like a CR10 Max, there's 2 rails, and you can't always tighten down all the inside wheels. Don't always go tight. Because if you got outside wheels, inside wheels, eccentric nuts are out here, and you tighten it up, you're tightening up the outside, but the inside you're not tightening up. Because, does that make sense? Because you got dual rails. And I'm not sure about
2 rails and 6 wheels.
Are you able to hear me?
Yep,
Yeah.
we can hear you fine.
Can't hear you.
Okay, perfect. I forgot to check the settings before I joined.
You can set it to 1080p if you want, and if you go to your camera settings instead of 720, you change it to 1080.
No, it was the sound.
Okay.
The first question: did you
2 rails,
receive
6
your
wheels.
package?
Okay, he's only got 2 rails, 6 wheels. Let's see, everybody. Let's read this.
Hey, Carl, how are you doing? How are you all doing? Good to be here. Yeah. I
making
have.
contact? Maybe
I
the
have-
bolt going through with the nut holding the wheel isn't snug.
Carl says one side has 3 eccentric nuts and the other only has 1. That's a bit of a strange combination. I think they balance on both sides to tweak them.
I have purchased myself an airbrush. Yes.
Cool. Nice.
And I have a compressor down here, so everything is good. I've been working a bit on how to use this and fine-tune the small settings, and trying to actually learn how to to do things. So it's pretty interesting, and it's really hard.
Eccentric nuts should only be on one side. I'm sorry to interrupt, but eccentric nuts shouldn't be on both sides of a printer. If you got two right across from each other, that won't work.
Yeah, we wouldn't have thought we had 3 eccentric nuts on one side. Normally it's 2 nuts and an eccentric nut to tighten them, not 3. Each one being adjustable. That's a bit strange. Yeah, exactly. 3 in mine, 3 in 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely don't add more eccentric nuts. That gives you more points to tension off. You don't want to do that. You want some freedom.
Yeah, you either got the solid little spacer, or you have an eccentric nut, which is like a spacer, but it's drilled off center. So when you tighten it, it moves the wheel in and out.
Oh, that is frustrating. Renee,
Yes.
did you receive the package from Liam?
No, I did not. I wrote. I'm getting really tired of that question.
Oh, we just feel for you, Renee, because
I know.
we know Astro didn't actually ship it. He's just stringing you along. He's actually never shipped it.
Yeah, I know.
He's just stringing you along.
Yeah,
but he's not here, so we can say that.
He just wanted me to send the shipping fee and.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. But since he's not here, we can say that.
I know. I know. He's the ultimate internet troll, but he doesn't know it. So, yeah. So how are you guys doing?
Oh, pretty good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Ah! No, wait. That was the figure.
I printed that out on the Focus. It's FDM, 0.20 layer height.
That's FDM. That looks real good for FDM.
Prime gray. I've got a few little places I have to sand on it, but I'm ready. I just got to do some light sanding, then I can go ahead and start painting it.
Well, that's the zombie Captain America.
Yeah.
A zombie Captain America? Yep.
Yep.
How much resin you gone through now, Matt?
Probably around 3 bottles so far.
3?
Yeah. I have 2 more bottles, or 3 bottles more I have.
That's the 1 kg bottles, or 1 litre bottles, or 500?
1K.
So you must be well tuned now. So Louise can have her printer back now, and she can go after it. Now that's all finally tuned in.
Stop teasing me, otherwise I have to come down to Australia and take you somewhere in the outbacks, and
I might enjoy that.
I've got a company.
Could you survive in the outbacks? Just like if you had no water, no food with you, would you survive?
Would I want to?
I've got a company sending me some of their Amazon returns, and Tim popped out. They're sending me some of their Amazon returns, and a couple days ago I got a really light package in the mail. It's like, what the hell is this? I open it up, and it's a blue bottle, but there's nothing in it. It's completely empty. So I guess when Amazon got it back, maybe they thought it was a water bottle because there was no resin in it. It was 100% empty, and they mailed it out to me. So
nice rip off that one. Yeah.
And I told them what it came, and then I just threw it away because there's nothing in it. So.
How much did you pay for that empty fine bottle?
I didn't pay anything for it because people return things on Amazon when they're not happy, and most of the time Amazon will have to send them back to the company, which costs too much money, throw them away, or sell them. And sometimes I get returns.
Cool.
So you're all set for tomorrow? Sorry, go on, Renee.
No, I was just, again, starting to talk about the airbrush and how difficult it really is to begin learning. So I found actually an Australian airbrush channel on YouTube.
Yeah.
Airbrush Asylum, if I remember correctly.
Yep, that sounds right.
He is insanely good, man. So,
tutorials are good. Tutorials are very good.
The Liam is back.
Yeah,
Oh
but yeah, that's all
no,
right.
you
He,
get
he,
that Danish guy on again?
he never
Man,
heard.
you look desperate for
Yeah,
members.
Liam had to go to the doctor.
Well, go on, show it. Go on, that's funny.
Go on,
I'm
go
looking
on.
for it.
Oh, he has
That's
to
why
find it
Liam was
now.
out of the room. He's out. He's in the
Oh.
doctor's office.
Yeah.
Renee,
I think you could have used a
uh,
smaller,
you can ask.
a
Did you get
smaller
the parcel?
emoji, Jerry.
Okay, Carl.
Nope.
What's
I
that?
wrote them, and I'm waiting to hear from them again.
You should go to the local media.
No,
No,
I'm not like that. I'll have to hear what they have to say before I'm doing anything.
But if they're not answering you, go to the local media.
Yeah, well, it's weekend now, so I'm a little patient.
So the Danish are like Swedish. They write letters. They don't really complain.
Yeah.
Well, here in Las Vegas, they got Channel 13. If you got a problem with a company or a business, tell them, you know, how news people are. They want to, breaking news. The dog ran across the street. I mean, they'll jump on anything.
Ah! Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, it's been so long at this point. I would have gone to the media because this is ridiculous. It's been sitting in Danish court for 6 weeks now already.
Yeah. Well,
It's
How
so
long did it
small,
sit
it probably
in
fell behind a
the-
conveyor belt and they forgot about it.
probably.
Or fell off.
You'll probably get the part, and it'll be probably be in 50 different pieces.
I have no idea.
Well, I use the ABS type resin, so it should survive.
Hey,
Yeah.
Montana, how you doing?
So, Liam, I purchased myself an airbrush and a compressor.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fun and difficult.
Does the
That takes
compressor have
some-
a storage tank, or is it just the compressor?
Yes. No, it's it's with a storage tank.
Underneath, yep. And you got
Can you
a
control the
water
pressure?
trap on it.
You have to be able to control the pressure.
Maybe.
In other words, I don't know.
If it's got a pressure gauge and a regulator off the compressor, it's adjustable. If
It'll
it hasn't
have
got a
water
regulator, it wouldn't.
Yeah, I want to purchase one of those fast click systems. They have
the quick connect.
yeah,
Quick connect, yep.
yeah.
Why? You're just starting to airbrush. You don't need it.
No, he wants a quick connect because he doesn't want to be tightening it on and removing it and tightening it
And
up
he's
again.
for cleaning and that. It's easy just do the quick connect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the small Parker ones work quite well.
I just unscrew mine while it's running. I drop it on the floor. I go to the kitchen sink, rinse everything out really super good, and I come back and flush it. And then I use my cleaning solution after that to clean it out really good.
Yeah.
So the clinical solution is only alcohol and water. That's all it is. It may be a small drop of.
When I'm in my airbrush room and I clean out a small container, it takes a very long time to flush all the paint out of it. So I run it under the sink and I take it apart right there under the sink real quick.
Yeah.
That way it pre-washes it for me. Then I can go back in the room and take 2 seconds to finish.
Yeah, that's what I use. I do the same. I like you and the cleaning is distilled water and alcohol mixture.
And the little tiny nut where you pull out the needle, I dropped that one time about a year ago. I dropped it down my drain on the garbage disposal side and freaked me out. I got a flashlight. I even took the doohickey underneath the sink.
The U-trap. Yep.
I ordered a new one. Yeah, the U. I ordered a new one. It came. I put it on the gun, and then a couple weeks later, I turned on the garbage disposal. I heard something, shut it off. I looked, and there it was, like a month later.
wow.
And it wasn't damaged. And I finally found it. But I looked everywhere for that when it happened. I couldn't see it in there. I spun it. I looked around those little impellers, but it finally showed up. It's crazy. Hey, Kit, how you doing?
Always the case.
Yeah.
So
But it's fun learning.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, airbrushing. You need to be able to control the air pressure because if you don't control the pressure, you can get too much air through it at one time. Even though you can control it somewhat, you still need to keep it low enough because if it's too high, it's going to cause you more problems.
Yeah.
I don't have a holding tank on mine. It works perfectly fine. Some people think if you don't have a holding tank to hold the air, it'll run all the time and it will surge. I've never had a surging problem. But if I was to buy another one and never got rid of this, I would buy one with a small tank on it. And you can use the biggest air compressor in the world as long as you have a regulator on it and a water trap and reduce the fittings down to your gun. Any compressor will work. But in the house, people buy the small portable ones. portable because they're not noisy. But if you're going to airbrush in the garage, any compressor you have will work. If you have a water, like I say, crank the pressure down, have a water trap on it.
You can get those cheap Bell ones in Harbor Freight that
Hey,
actually
Jeff.
do good. Just add a water trap to it and a
They usually
regulator.
come,
and
they
it's
usually
good.
come with them. I got mine off Amazon for like $100.
Yeah.
And I went out and spent 150 on a good gun.
I got this one here.
Yeah,
Oh,
turn it. Show us the front end. Show us the front face.
yeah.
That's for your airbrush?
Yep. Yeah, it's a self-contained one. Rotate to the
That
front.
looks like a wire feed welder. Okay.
Yeah, you've got a
okay.
regulator. You have
Okay,
got a
you got a-
regulator adjustment on top of
Yeah.
that, Renee. You see the black knob? The black
Yeah.
knob
Yeah.
above the red ring. That allows you to increase or decrease the air pressure on the gauge, which is your regulator.
And your compressor.
Why is it tight?
You pull it up. You have to pull it up to
Yeah.
release it. You pull it up to release it,
Ah, there we go.
and then you
while
can
it's
adjust
running,
it,
You look at the gauge, and you can
and then
adjust
you
the
push
pressure.
it down to lock it in place.
Gotcha. Thank
And
you
you-
so
right,
much.
You have
Yep,
an air
so
tank.
so the gauge will tell you what your outlet pressure is, so you can increase or decrease it, then push it back to lock it in place, and you can adjust like Liam was saying. If you've got
Usually
too much
between,
flow.
So-
like 5 and 10 pounds typically.
Yeah. So what is that? That's a 3 liter is what it is. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's pretty
That's
cool.
more than enough for airbrushing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
But what I'm really annoyed about is that the cord is getting out this way. I wanted to get out the back way.
Sure. Where it comes out? Show me. Where does the cord come?
Right
Here.
off the front.
Can you not
It's-
move it?
Oh, the power
Relocate
cord.
it?
You can
No,
do the cover. The cover should just unscrew, and you can slip it under the side of the cover there. The cover's
Yeah,
screwed
but
into the tank.
I'll do that. It's just annoying. They didn't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
about that to begin with. But that's the way it is.
RTFM, old curmudgeon. Yeah, you're right. You know what that means, Renee?
Yeah. Read the F manual. Yes, I know what it means.
But
And I do know how to read the manual. I just didn't come around to it yet, Liam.
I would know old curmudgeon said it. Don't get
right
don't
here.
get nasty with me.
But no, the regulator knob is a trick. You haven't you haven't used
Yeah.
it before. You don't realise you lift it up to
Yeah.
unlatch it, rotate it, and then you push it back down.
Yeah, it
You
locks
don't
in
use the
place.
tools, you wouldn't know. Yeah.
I
fair
knew it had a. It said in the, not in the title, but the subtitle of what I purchased.
rotate,
It had a
yeah.
yeah, but I just never came
Yeah.
around to it. I didn't.
No,
Even,
but you won't know
You're
that
getting in
unless
trouble.
you've used them to actually lift up to unlock, rotate, set your gauge,
Yeah.
push it back in to lock it in place. That's sweet.
so
You
I
see,
had
what
it
you
for 2 days, I think. So yeah, it's
Yeah, well,
It's complete.
it's all about getting a piece of waste paper or waste card or whatever. And
Oh, I already wasted 6 papers, man.
yeah, but no,
completely.
don't do it in the house unless you have an extractor. You do not want to be inhaling the paint
No.
fumes.
No.
You need to
No,
set up something with an extractor unit or do it outdoors, but you do not want to be inhaling those vapors.
It's acrylic paint. It won't hurt you, but you should.
Oh, it'll
Yeah,
still,
but it'll
it'll still
line your- it'll line your lungs, though.
particles. Yeah, it's the particles.
Yeah,
Pre
the problem is
I got a whole bunch.
inhaling it, it'll go in and it'll clog up in your lungs.
Yeah, that's real good paint.
It's easy to make up a small spray booth with an extractor, a 40 by 40 or a 50 by
You can
50
use
fan.
a box.
Yeah,
You can use
Yeah.
a cardboard box.
for a box. Yeah,
And
with
then
a
put
fan
an
in it.
extractor mount on the back of it and have it going out a window with an extractor fan.
Yeah,
And you can
yeah,
spray
yeah.
it towards the extractor so it actually pulls it out. That's all you do.
Yeah.
You can buy
Yes.
them off Amazon for like 50, 60 bucks. They fold open. And here's what I did with mine. Let's see if I can find it. No, that's not it. Where's it at? Where's it at?
Yeah.
See the box on the left side, the paint's on it?
Yeah.
That used to be a little Amazon, and I built a particle board box, mounted that in the back, and that doesn't vent outside. That just vents straight down behind it to the floor, basically. And there's a big giant filter in there that catches all the paint. When it gets either real clogged up, I go to the sink and I wash it out really good, or I just replace it, and that catches any particles, so it's not just floating around. And it's fairly noisy, but they don't cost that much, and I just made a bigger box for it.
Yeah, you could use the same inline fan, Jerry, that you use for the K40 and
Yeah,
paint it
so-
outside. The exact same setup would work.
Jerry, could you please go back to the
Your box. Go back to your magic box.
yeah, because the paints you have at the bottom to the left, is that the same brand I have here?
No,
Yeah,
they're
I got a whole bunch. Can you see my mouse or no?
No.
Okay, the shelf closest to the camera, I've got a whole bunch there on top.
Yeah, on
Yep.
the shelves are the apple
Quite a few.
barrel, aren't they?
What?
The ones on the shelf on the left hand side there, they're all apple. Some of them are apple barrel.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of apple barrel here. Let me walk in and hold some up.
There he goes out the door.
Yep. Hey.
Yeah, it's the same brand. Yeah,
It's the same brand. Is that same brand you've got?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he also has this stuff, the apple barrel stuff.
Oh, okay. So that's the bigger bottles.
Well, it's different brands, but yeah, it works too.
But there's so many brands and so many types and so many functions with it. So yeah, lacquers and the metallics and the.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the big one.
What's the big blue box?
That's the
his-
CO2 laser.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a Harbor Freight special.
But once again, you can see it's got the same sort of regulator as yours, Renee, on the end. They're all
Yeah.
pretty much a standard. But
Yeah,
some of
yeah.
the smaller units do not have
Mm.
regulators. They're just the pump, and they cut and they line out with no regulator. They're fixed, and
Right.
you gotta have the regulator.
Right.
Yeah, Jerry's
Uh,
CO2 is the same. It's the same one, the same as the one I have.
I'm gonna send Jerry a picture so he can show you guys, because I purchased a bunch of paints.
You can share your screen, and it'll pop it up on the screen when you
Yep.
get to it.
Bottom of the StreamYard, you got share.
Yeah, you have the share button with the. Yeah, I have the same setup, Jerry.
What was that thing?
Bigger. I have the bigger scissor lift. I have the
Yeah,
bigger version of it.
That's real tiny when I bought it. I need to buy a bigger one. Hello,
No, I
Steve.
got the bigger one.
I'm done.
But I'm going to build out. I'm going to extend the cut out the bottom of mine, and raise it and put in a bed that I can adjust.
I've taken my one that came with it. I took out right now. I don't know if you can see it in the picture. And then I've got a piece of metal that I bought, which I can go show you. But I got to cut the bottom out of it. Let's see. I haven't cut out the bottom, but I've got that great big giant.
The mesh.
Yeah,
You got the mesh there,
I haven't put mine in. I'm going to build a mesh bed. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And what's the scissor lift for?
The scissor
To
lift
adjust-
is you adjust your focus because it's the laser is a fixed focus.
Fixed focus, so you can thicker or thinner material, so you can see
Oh,
your
the
lift
laser.
to get
So
the
the
focus
laser
right.
is fixed. Okay.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
fixed focus distance, and what you have to do is raise and lower the platform that you're putting the part on, and that's
okay.
his rotary.
That's
Yeah,
a
the rotary that he
That
got
won't
Betty
fit your
Boot carried
laser,
back
Gary.
from Trevor.
The big
That's what
step
Trevor
forward.
gave him.
Yeah, but
Nice.
that won't fit in your laser, Jerry. You on your CO2.
When he gets his bigger one, it'll fit.
Yeah, I suppose if it lifts it up, maybe.
When he gets his fiber laser, he'll have lots of room to put his rotary.
Well, with fiber laser, you raise and lower the lens up and down.
Yeah.
I'm still working on a few companies on those. I'm working towards it. I'll get there eventually.
Jerry, is it okay I share a picture?
Sure.
Cool. Let's see how
While
it
you're
works.
getting ready to share that, I'm going to check my print, see how it's looking.
Nice.
So,
Oh wow.
yeah,
Army Painter. I got those too. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think I have that many though, but I do have the Army Painter brand.
yeah, it's a Danish company.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a
Cheap
big
freight.
box, like 50 or 75 of them or
So,
something. And I
yeah,
put ball
so-
bearings in them. The paint separates. So I put little tiny
Yep.
ball bearings in them to shake
Yep.
them up.
Yep, I do that. I've done that with all 134 or 5 paints.
What bearings you put in? You don't put steel because they'd corrode, wouldn't they?
You have to put Army Painter's zone in because all other ball bearings they
But they corrode. Yeah, would corrode.
yeah, so you have to put. Well, where is it?
I've never opened none of my paint up with bearings in them to see if they've corroded. So they're chrome ball bearings, so I don't think they corroded.
Yeah, so you have to. This is
Get the proper one.
5.5 millimeter ball bearings from Army Painter.
Okay.
And if you purchase these, they won't erode. They won't
Yeah, because they're
go
not
bad.
not the cheap chrome plated ones.
Yeah,
which
you
can
have you.
itch.
Yeah, I saw a dude on some, I forgot what YouTube channel it was, but he tested a bunch of different ones. The only ones that did not release some kind of weird spunk in water was the army painter ones. Completely clean water. So it's the same if you put them in paint.
Well,
So
if I can dig any of mine out without spilling the paint and losing the paint, the bottles are so little, I'll wash it up and look at it because they've been in there for a very long time, and I'll see if it eroded or corroded at all.
yeah,
some of the
but the army
cheap-
painter won't.
No, they got good, must be optimized for the water medium.
Yeah.
Whatever the coating is.
Yeah.
Jerry,
Yeah.
I'm printing PLA for that I haven't done in a long time on my Ender 5 Plus right now.
Okay.
It's been so long. I actually had forgotten how fast the printer can move. Because I'm used to printing PLA and something else, and I always do PETG on that one printer. It's rare I ever print PLA. And that was my big PETG for large prints. So when I decided when I was printing PLA, and it's just now, I just realized this printer can actually move fast because it was used to going about 35 millimeters for the layers, right? And right now it's doing 16. It's breezing through its print, so it's kind of weird.
Okay. Jerry, I purchased the big set. There was 124 paints in the big set. So they came. The set came with a set of five brushes, and the brushes have names. This is Wargamer Vehicle Terrain, and then there's a little dry brush.
Hey, Archie, I don't know, Archie.
Yeah, I just buy
small.
whatever brush is off online.
Yeah.
I haven't got any
And
specific-
then you have a detail.
Yeah.
And then you have a regiment.
I suppose it costs an extra 10 euros because they've got a name on them.
Probably. And this one has 3 hairs. Guess what the name is on this one?
The
The
stop
Psycho.
focusing. The Psycho, yeah.
Come on, focus.
Just for doing your little touch-ups on your details.
Yeah, it's so little.
Jerry,
Oh, wow.
I'm going to join again in a second. I want to give you a preview of something, right?
All right.
Because somebody else in Creality gave notice of them, put out some pictures of this. So I'm going to give people a sneak preview. Give me a second. I'm going to join on my phone.
Okay. Yeah, here's the balls that I'm using right now. These are the bigger ones. I bought one pack of them. They were real tiny, so then I reordered them. I think these are the bigger ones here that I'm currently using.
What's the millimeter on them?
3/16.
3/16, about 5, roughly 6 mils. Yeah.
Okay, so these are the big ones I have. The original ones I bought were really, really tiny. They were too small. And this is what I currently use.
Yeah, they're designed for solvent, for acetone base, so they'll should be fine.
Yeah, it's for nail polishes.
Yeah.
They are
They're $8.36 for 100 of them.
4.7625 millimeters in diameter.
Yeah, so 5 mils, yeah. Good
Yeah.
enough.
So that's millimeters.
Okay.
So what do we need to remember to do tomorrow, Tim?
What was that?
Since you've obviously, what do we need to remember to do tomorrow, Tim? Because you've got to rearrange your desk, obviously, for tomorrow.
Liam just joined the show as printer.
Ignore the mess. Ignore the mess of this table. This, guys, is not yet released. This is your preview of the Ender 2 Pro
Oh,
from
wow.
Creality.
Oh, cool.
That looks similar to something I've seen previously from.
Yeah, but Jerry's took 2 days to print, to build. So the print quality is really good.
You mean my Prusa Mini?
Yeah, and it prints like this, guys.
Nice.
Yeah, Ender 2s came out a long time ago, so they revised it and came out with a new version, huh?
Yeah, they have a new version that's going to be released soon, the Ender 2 Pro. They have the handle up here for carrying it. You have a spool holder like the CR10 Smart. This is plastic. It's got tensioners.
That's good.
And it's the same build volume as the CR10.
That's good.
Or sorry, same build volume of the. Sorry, not CR10. It's the same build volume of the. The Prusa Mini. The Prusa Mini.
Okay.
And it's got these flexible beds.
Hey, Dixon.
You got a good air gap there, Liam, I hope?
Yep, lots of air gap.
That's okay then.
So I'm going to go into the other room now.
All right.
Yeah, I was saying, Tim, what do you have to remember to do tomorrow when you rearrange your desktop?
I have to remember to. I don't know. Where are you going with this?
So who said they got one?
Keep
Dum,
the
dum, you
printer
got one?
to the left of your head adjustment rod.
Oh, yeah.
We've got to maintain that number on the screen.
Yeah. So guys, that's that hasn't been released yet. I only showed you because I've had that for about a month now, and I've been printing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on it. Never fails. Leveled it once in a month.
Nice.
That's it. And I think I'm going to get away with showing you it because Tina posted some preview pics during this last week. So the fact that Creality are showing some preview pics, I think I can get away with showing it to you. Yeah, so it's an end user. I don't know how much it is. They haven't announced the price yet, Dixon.
And because it's a new printer, it's going to have a 32-bit board in it, so it won't.
It doesn't have I'd have to check. I haven't checked. I haven't opened it up to see the processor yet.
All their new stuff has 32-bit boards.
I don't know if this does, but it's
Here, pause your camera, go ask Ike, and come back and tell us, because everything new from Creality has a 32-bit board.
They should have. They should have. I haven't opened it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
That red light, that is the new, soon to be released Ender 2 Pro.
Ender 2, remember those they had a long time ago? I never owned it before my time. But
So are you saying that Prusa copied Ender with their Ender 2 Pro to make their Mini?
Correct.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Creality Ender 2 was out before the Prusa Mini.
The Mini.
Yeah.
For a change.
Yeah, it has a
guess
B
the
with,
price
but it prints consistently. I mean, I leveled it when I first set it up, and I've been printing on it for the last month, and I've never had to re-level it.
Pre-order 169.
Okay, so it's already out there for pre-order. Okay.
When I first read that, I thought he was asking. I'm thinking, there's no way that non-fam is asking a question. He always has the answers because he's everywhere.
So it's a good little machine. Now, I personally am not a big fan, as you know, of small printers, but I've been using that for the Toys for Tots for printing trains, and it's never stopped. I've done PLA, I've done PLA Plus, and it's consistent. It just nails it out every time.
And that was pre-assembled, just 4 bolts, bang, down, a couple of cables to plug in.
So there's is it 4 or 6 bolts, and that's it. Yeah.
Available to pre-order from September 25th.
Yeah. So it's going to be 169 is what some non-fam said.
Yeah.
But it's a good little machine. I can't knock it.
Good
For that sort of money, no.
Yeah, it's for something, and like I don't like the ZYLTECH magnetic surface, but it is magnetic and it does work. But I'm not a big fan of ZYLTECH surfaces myself, but it does work.
Yeah, they're real flimsy. They suck.
It's holding up okay. The actual surface is holding up. Okay.
For a month of non-stop printing, it's perfect.
Awesome.
As long as you get your level right. Like if you over squish, you're going to be, or if you park the head over and it's there too long and it's hot, it's going to burn it, right? So make sure that when you tighten up the bed leveling bolts, right? The adjusters, tighten them down, then go through a leveling 2 or 3 passes, so it just barely touches. After that, it works. And I did have a tension up my belts, but it does have built-in belt tensioners.
My red PLA from Focus on the Focus printer that I printed that Captain America had a few little burnt bits in the PLA here and there that burnt black. I'm like, where'd that come from? The only thing I can figure is impurities in the PLA because I shouldn't have had any burnt bits in the PLA. I run at 210 and 60 on the bed.
Well, it could be that, or it could be stuff, leftover stuff and gunk in your nozzle, or it could be stuff stuck on the outside of the nozzle. They just came, as it was there for a while, that burnt over time and came off during
I'll
the
have
print.
to look at the nozzle, but yeah, it's something odd. It's like, where'd this come from?
Now, the only thing I don't like these. They have one of those swivel spool holders. I'm not a big fan of swivel, like on the CR10 Smart. I don't like those. I really think they should get a spool holder, take off the red handle, and mount a spool holder on the top of Z and be done with it.
Yeah.
For that
Hanging on
size,
top
though,
would be tidier.
for that size, wouldn't it tend to a bit of vibration because it's a very small printer, even with a central
No,
mounted
it's
spool
not
holder?
that much actually. It's not so much because the taller you go, vibration becomes an issue. But when you're only going, when your print area is so small, it's not going to be that much of a
The
problem.
Prusa has an external spool holder, just like that should
Yeah.
have an external. It should
Yeah.
be mounted to it.
But it prints, and it prints great. I haven't had issues with it. It's printing something different right now, but it prints consistently. And the prints
That's
are
the
really
important
good.
thing. Yeah, as long as it's consistent.
No, if it shows a negative number, your
Yep.
thermistor is going bad.
Yeah.
That's what I found out. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's a positive number, it's probably room temp. If it's a negative number, it means your thermistor is bad.
Or maybe it might have lost its PID tuning. So maybe that's retuned.
But
yeah,
PID
15
tuning,
degrees is quite low.
yeah, if it's lower than room, it's probably PID tuning. But if it's in the negatives, like negative 15, it's probably your thermistor is bad because it shouldn't be off by that much.
It should be. There's pretty much the same temperature as your bed. Your bed and your hot end, when it's not heated, should be roughly the same, plus or minus a
which
few
is room
degrees.
temperature. Yeah, when your machine just powered up, it should be room.
Yeah, I mean they may not be quite the same, but pretty close. So if they're both showing 15 degrees, then it should be okay.
Oh, he did a PID. Well, if it's 15, that's room temperature, and nothing's heated, it should be okay.
He wrote paid. That's why his name is Dum Dum. He don't know how to spell right.
But what's the bed? What's the bed temperature though, Dum Dum? What's the bed saying?
Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. He Googled it. Here he got it right here.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep.
Google.
Yeah, so I would check. What I do is
Okay. So it's got like a 10-degree difference between his bed and his hot end.
that
Could just be the calibration on the thermistor. As long as they still work and stabilize.
Well, what I do is heat it to 200 degrees and leave it at 200 degrees and watch to see if it varies an awful lot. If it goes up and down by more than 5 degrees. If it varies a lot, then you need to do then your PID tuning needs to be done again.
Yeah,
If it stays within 1 degree or so,
if it stabilizes,
you're good.
then it should be okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
At the lot, because they're optimized for the higher end temperature, so they're not really designed to calibrate at room temperature. They're designed to work at a higher temperature range, so they work better at the hotter end.
Because it's based on resistance on the bulb.
Have a couple.
They're based on resistance is what they're based on. So the higher they get, the higher the resistance, which is where they actually really start to shine.
And if you don't have a sock on your hot end and you're getting too much cooling, it can have a thermal runaway because it's cooling it down. The thermistor could be broke, or a wire, or the nut could simply be loose. So there's a couple different things there that can cause a thermal runaway if you have a thermal runaway.
I agree. PID won't affect it when it's idle. That's why you have to heat it to about 200 degrees and watch it and see if the temperature stays steady or moves by a lot. If it moves by more than 1 or 2 degrees, then you have to re-PID tune again.
Okay, warm it up and just see how it stabilizes. If it stabilizes at a nice steady temperature, then you should be fine.
Yeah, within 2 degrees, you should be fine.
Yeah.
So
Timed out.
Cool.
So it's timing out after printing for 10 minutes. He's saying.
What's timing out?
Is it?
What's timing out? You shouldn't get a timeout anywhere. You could get a thermal runaway. If you're getting a thermal runaway, that's probably be a bad thermistor
or a loose connection,
or a loose connection.
printing,
Yeah.
you know, too much cooling on the hot end.
Or even the thermistor may have slipped out of its nut, and it's reading more
And then
ambient than the
bulb
heater block.
thermistors, I hate them. I wish everything had a cartridge because they're usually foolproof. But the bulb thermistors, it's so easy to over tighten the screw or have it too loose.
Yeah, and that's another thing that would cause a bad reading. If your thermistor, the screw that holds the thermistor if it's cranked down and crushing the cables, that's going to cause a misreading. So it should only be barely touching it, so it can't move. That's it.
Can't fall out.
Yeah,
that's
just
all.
barely. I mean, the slightest bit, the tips of your fingers
Hey, Victor.
And tension on that, and that's it.
I usually barely snug them.
Yeah. Just you can tip your fingers, so you just feel a little bit of resistance and then stop.
Yeah. It could just be positioning of the thermistor. Could maybe a bit loose and moved or not quite right.
Yeah.
It doesn't have screws. He says
Oh,
it doesn't have
that's
screws.
well, that's a problem. There should be a screw to hold the thermistor in.
Something to hold it in place. Yeah.
Two little holes right next to each other, one for the thermistor, one for the screw.
Heater cartridge. I mean,
It's
some
normally
heater
above
cartridge.
it. It's normally a little threaded hole right above it. Where you
Very
put a
small
there,
hole. Yeah.
because the wire, the
1.5 mil.
thermistor bulb goes into the hole for the thermistor,
Yeah.
and then the two wires come out around the screw, and then you slightly snug the screw down to stop it from moving.
What type of
Not
printer,
that-
Dum Dum?
Yeah.
Now, Dum Dum, did you tell me that you're not on Facebook? If you are, send me a picture and I'll show it on the screen.
Yeah, I'd like to know what machine it is.
If
The
you haven't seen one that
all-clarity
doesn't have
one-
a, yeah,
They all
even
come with screws.
Prusa as well.
But most of them do. I don't
Yeah.
think I've seen one that doesn't.
Never heard of Airwolf, other than the helicopter.
Yeah.
Airwolf, I've never heard of those.
Let's have a quick Google.
Yeah. I'll do the same.
Let's have a look.
I did see on the news last night they're talking about rocket companies using a giant 3D printer that prints steel and aluminum. Big giant arm. It's a monster. It's costs millions and millions of dollars.
HD2s. Okay. Oh, okay. So there it is. Airwolf. There we go.
Well,
Hey Dixon, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Just
Good,
hanging
good
out waiting
man.
for you.
Good.
just Jerry,
Hello, Dixon.
Hi.
I can't remember what I was going to say now. Damn. Whatever
That's
in my
the
head.
problem of you getting old, Liam.
Yeah, it is. It's that sign of age, forgetting.
No, it's a sign that it wasn't important, because if it was, I'd remember.
Jerry is always nice, I think.
They have a nice cabinet on
Well,
the
that's
Airwolf.
the original Mini, is it?
No, that's a King Rune. I bought 4 of these last October. They're little workhorses.
I think
Yeah,
that's
well,
what
the
Tim
parts.
has.
Yeah, I have one of those. Nice little printer.
Yeah, Tim did a video on it.
Yeah, the quality, and this is just tuning it, getting the mirror on there right out of the box. I mean, it's smooth as glass.
Yeah, I'm getting the same, yeah. For
These are
mine,
nice
this is-
brackets all the way through. They're designed. They have special holes in them. On the side, you'll see this is hollow like inside. Goes all the way through.
Is that a glass bed on that?
I put them are mirrors. It's a mirror on all my
Okay.
mirrors and hairspray.
Hmm.
What them brackets are is I made a whole bunch of brackets for these guns. You know what these are for?
Spud guns? Oh, is that a blowtorch, isn't it?
We designed this gun, me and another guy, years ago, and I've been pumping these brackets out for it. It's for the big shot, the dog trainers. It sounds just like a
To launch
12 gauge.
The
fetch-
balls, switching balls, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a 12 gauge shotgun when they're training their dogs. You just push the button for 3 seconds, you hit it again, it sounds just like a 12 gauge.
Yeah, like the
Shotgun.
bird scarers. Yeah, the gas-powered bird scarers.
Yep.
Yep.
What they
Did you
do is
change
they
your name? I thought your name was Jocko from Cape Town. Did you change your name, or are you a different person? Go ahead.
Actually, Dixon, you should actually do one of those with the ball on the outside and a net on the inside, because they the same type of setup. If you fire it, would actually take down drones.
Yeah, there you go.
You could sell it for taking down drones as well.
We designed it that way because, and then there's a baffle in there. You can adjust it to make it sound like a 20 gauge or a 12. But we designed it that way because everybody wants them now because they're so short in size. And the only other company that makes them is they're really long and cumbersome, hard to handle.
I'm not
Oh,
sure,
Jack is
Victor, on
explaining.
what his question is here. His SCR 1.4 board just started turning the heat in and the bed without plugging in. What happened?
It's not plugged in. It shouldn't be doing anything.
Meaning it started powering up. You might have a short in your board if you just plugged it into the wall and the thing started going nuts, getting hot. You probably got a short in something. I had an Ender 3 one time that as soon as I turned it on, the bed started getting really hot. I had a broken wire on the bed. The machine was shorting out, causing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jocko. Hey, Jocko, did you get the sticker I sent you yet? I think it was like a month ago now that you asked me for a sticker and I mailed it to you.
So that's like
here.
That's your cutoff switch.
That's your auto. Yep, auto shut off. I have it come forward, and it taps the switch and shuts it off. And I just put a real tiny little LED light right here. It's got 3 lights on it, 4 lights on it.
No, so
But I bought one of these years ago, and I was impressed. So I bought 3 more.
Okay.
For putting out parts, and it works very, very well. Never had any problems, man. It just keeps going. The only thing I had to do is back here. You know, if you don't make that wire rest back here, I did it on most of my printers, but this one I didn't. I made a little form, and I put some glue on the end of the wire, hot glue, so it won't wear these wires out.
Yeah, well, the one that I showed a while ago has actually a cable support system, but it goes underneath and goes onto in where the springs are for the adjuster, but it mounts in there. But there is a cable support in there.
Yeah, now King Rune doesn't sell this model anymore. They sell that other one where this display is not under the board. The bed's in the way a little bit when it's running. So their other model that they only sell now has the display board out here farther.
Yeah.
And it's got a square box.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and your power supply is outside. Whereas,
yeah, it's sitting right here. I have this sitting hanging in the back on my rack, so the air cooling stays good. And I just have a buck and a boost transformer right here for the LED light.
Yeah, so the one that I have, the power is underneath.
Yeah, that was another good thing they did was all the power supplies come at 24 volts. So it heats up really quick, both the head and all at once.
So, but they're good little, like, and I'm not a fan of small printers, but I like this one. I'm not like this one's going to get a lot of use.
That one.
There's only certain parts that you can't, like, if I try to print, I can't print tall stuff or large stuff on it. But if you want to knock something small out quickly, it's ideal for it.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what, the average thing that everybody prints, if you're doing production parts, will get covered on this bed really easy.
Well, I do a lot of parts that won't fit that bed. But if I want to print something small quickly, then that bed is ideal.
Yes, I have one down at work. Here's the mirror. I have one down at work, and I always keep 3 coats. You don't ever got to clean this. I keep 3 coats on there, and then maybe every 30 prints, I'll quick touch it up. You can see the design here of that bracket. So after 30 prints, I'll just spray it once, and you're good to go again for another 30 prints.
In over 4 years, I've never tried hairspray, but I've tried just about everything else. I guess I should go buy some because.
Well, you could get the really cheap hairspray.
With a mirror, my CR10 the enclosure has a mirror on it. The rest
I'm telling you what, I do a lot of parts, and I never get warping. Never get warping. When I did that with my original 2 CR10s when they first came out with them, I thought, and then you're doing huge parts, and you got to watch out that the corners don't warp up or anything.
Yeah.
I make these long, skinny brackets, 10 at a clip, on my CR10s. And when I found that out, they came out perfect every time. They would never fail.
Any particular brand of hairspray?
Aquanet.
Aquanet?
Aquanet is, but I found that others. I don't know what it is. I'd have to ask my wife. I got it. Comes in a maroon colored can. I don't have none up here.
A lot of guys use Aquanet. It's cheap. I mean, dirt
Yes.
cheap, and
Yes.
it works. Now
Yep.
I don't.
I'm a little scared that you guys know all the brands of hairspray.
Yeah,
Just
great
saying.
for 3D printing.
Just
Well, I know-
saying.
I know what it is. It's now remember it's
Don't
Suave.
forget
'cause
nail
it's cheaper.
files.
Suave was cheaper than Aquanet, so then I started using that. That's why. So I
Yeah,
got cans.
see, Matt knows all about nail files. So does Jerry.
Yep.
They're sitting there. See what you don't realize is when Jerry's sitting there and his hand is not up and you can't see it, his hands are down here and he's actually manicuring himself during the stream. The files are great for getting into small areas that you want to stand out. And
Have you guys noticed that Liam is teasing everyone?
Well, it's about time. Everyone normally teases me, so it's time.
Exactly.
It's come back.
Yeah.
Well, I got you good last time.
Yeah, this is comeback. But yeah, that's Jerry in the morning. Okay.
Oh, I know what I was going to ask you. Is that Ender 2 going to be this King rune? It's auto shut off. If you lose power, it will resume. And I take all my scrap rolls because it works so well on the King runes, and I print because as soon as it runs out, it beeps. I put another roll in, and it goes and it starts. There's maybe a small hair that you see, and that's it.
The only thing that's missing is the auto shut off, because you built that on your own. But you can add that to it, and everything else you just said, it has a filament run out. That's all in it.
Okay. These King runes here, they come with this bed rail here, this metal rail, which really isn't necessary, but I mean it works perfect.
Yeah, no, it doesn't have that. It doesn't have linear rail.
Yeah, this really isn't necessary because
No.
I've noticed with 3D printers that don't have this, you get the same, you get good resolution either or. The only thing with this is you have to make sure you put the real light pneumatic oil on it, so it doesn't come up.
For a small printer, you don't need linear rails. Linear rails make sense for really large printers.
Yeah. Just like a CNC.
Yeah, like linear rail on the rat rig makes sense. On the Ender 5 Plus would make the world of sense. On the CR10 S5, the really big 500 by 500, it would make sense on those printers. On IDEX printers, it's needed to keep the two x-axis in balance. But other than that, you really don't need them on most printers, but you do need them on the large stuff.
A company I reviewed some resin for recently called Molazon over on Shenzhen, China, asked if they could use my video and post it on their Alibaba site. And I said, sure, no problem. But they cut the video up and changed the music in it, and the text at the end is hilarious. So if you guys have seen this video, part of it's my video with different music, and all the text is different. It prints amazingly well. First time I've ever used water washable resin. That's not my text. No problem. Worked great. They said they have another 1,000 grams. This is a standard rigid resin. Nice aluminum bottle. Packaged very well. I'm going to turn that music off. It's not my music, and I don't know if it's copyright free or not. And that part's mine, and at the very end, it's funny what it says.
Yeah.
They only had like 45 seconds or something, so I asked her about it. She said that's why they cut it up, just to get the gist of it. And they sped it up. It's almost over and show the texture. Me, thank you very much for watching. That isn't something so I told her, I said in the U.S., we would say thank you very much for watching, not me, thank you.
Or I thank you, or yeah.
Yep.
So anyway.
You get a lot of that. You get a lot of that in the directions when you buy printers and stuff. You get that going on.
But
even on the outside the box, you look at it, they'll spell words all out of whack.
Yeah.
But that's Jerry's version of Yoda speak.
Yeah.
Me, thank you.
Anyway, I cried. I panned her back, and correct error.
I've
So hopefully we'll
I've-
fix it.
I've just had, regarding DOOM's question, I just had a look at quick Google. There's a video on YouTube how to change out the heater cartridge and thermistor. It looks like the printer he has, it does have a. I'll just show a
Yeah.
picture. Hang on, I'll just share my screen.
I've never used nail polish remover, but it is acetone, so it should. Acetone is what most people use. A drop of acetone. You can buy it in the hardware store. It's cheaper than buying nail varnish remover. You get a big container of it. It's really cheap.
Yeah, the Airwolf has two nozzles side by side in one housing. They're assembled as a unit, and it definitely has both a heater cartridge and a thermistor. It looks like the thermistor reads both print heads side by side because the print heads are actually in one assembly. So
That's weird.
it is. It's a strange assembly. Let me just bring the.
But how
show what it
it's
looks like.
got two print heads. Is it a dual extruder?
It's a. It's a dual extruder. It's got two sources to it.
Yeah, it
but
must
the
have a
print heads
double
are-
feed. Must
Let me
have a
just find
double
it.
feeder, otherwise it's not. And then it must know the offset of the two nozzles.
Yeah.
Well,
Let
that's
me just
easy
find the
enough.
picture
You
of
just
it here.
measure
They're
points
different.
together.
Let me just find the picture of what it looks like the hot
How
end
does the
together. here.
thermistor stay in if there's no screw holding it?
Yeah, here's a better picture. Hang on. Just do this one.
That's a good picture. Oh, there we go. Oh wow.
Oh, so it's got a single heater cartridge.
It's got a
Yeah,
single heater
that's-
cartridge and a single thermistor running on both. So they're at the back of it. That's why.
That's
Yeah,
an
yeah.
unusual design.
And the thermistor is the one on the left, obviously. Heater cartridge is the one on the right. So you can see the there we go. That's the end of it.
So it must base because it's got two extruders, but a single heater cartridge and a single. So it
Thermistor on
must be based on it must do a lot of retraction every single time it wants to change filament. Otherwise,
Yeah,
if the two heads are the same height, one
Yep.
could possibly knock what it's printing. It could knock the part off. That's why a lot of people like Lulzbot and a couple of other companies, when they do dual extruder, they actually lift head one up a little bit, and they print when they're printing, and then drop it down. So head one sits lower than extruder two, then print head two, and they lift it out of the way, and then they do a Z offset to print with extruder two.
But that could also explain why he's got a big temperature differential, because of the thermistors in the middle. One of it was not going to quick balance between whatever one he's printing from, so that could explain the bigger
Probably
differential.
not. Well, maybe, but generally, unless one is near the air duct and it's blowing on the heater block and cooling one half of the heater block.
Possibly, yeah. But it's definitely got. I'll put the link for the video.
Hey, Bob.
I
Post
found it on
in the chat if
YouTube.
you can
Yeah,
go
if you
there.
want.
I'll put the link in the video and this video for changing the heater replacement there, DOOM. You can have a look at the video. Hang on, let me just paste
They
it.
look
put
like
it
a
in here.
nice machine.
There you go. That's the link on the YouTube video on replacing the heater cartridge and the thermistor.
You know,
Talking
they
about
look
cutting
like a nice
wires.
computer, like a nice printer.
Oh, you've seen that one. You've seen that one, have you? DOOM. Okay.
There's a guy out there that sells that kit for $200 where it's got on top of the nozzle, it's got that plastic fitting where there's 4 feeds or something,
Oh, you're
Yeah.
talking about a chameleon.
four different colors, and then it bumps a micro switch, and then it knows when to change off
Yep.
colors.
That's the
It'll
chameleon.
go back left and right.
Yeah, Bill Steele, his name is, or Bill Steely, and
That's it.
he came up with the idea of the chameleon, where you can have up to 32 or 36 extruders feeding into one nozzle. That's how it's set up, and it's basically all managed by G code.
Yeah, I think
Look
it
up
goes
3D
over to the
chameleon.
left and the right, and there's 4 micro switches that it bumps.
You can
know
do
when to
left,
switch
right,
colors.
front, back, up, down. There's a whole and it's a sequence. The order, the sequence you hit them will vary. Will turn on or off the different extruders.
How's it going, Tim?
Good.
So yeah, you should look up 3D Chameleon. He's got a setup at one. I think he has a setup with
ISPC.
32 extruders.
Printing a phone case just to try.
In silicon.
And this is the TPR.
What's that? How flexible is that? That's very flexible.
65A.
65.
Very flexible.
Jesus.
Like this is this was a failed print, and that is like I can twist and twist and twist and twist, and it comes back.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Yeah, it's pretty flexible. Yeah, this is it's a spanking tool, you know.
It's not that sort of channel. Not that sort of channel.
Yes, this is the wrong channel for that kind of topic. And what you do in your private life, you should not always air.
Yeah, it's your own business.
You
Exactly.
You got a 3D print of a monkey?
3D print and spanking channel.
I know Jerry, where Jerry's going with that.
Who mentioned this as a Vegemite dispenser, Jerry?
Tim with the spanking channel. The new Prusa.
Hey, my sub count will go way up.
All of a sudden, the next day he's got 30,000 more subscribers.
We know what's going to be going on tomorrow when he streams tomorrow.
Yeah, his subscriptions go way up.
Yeah.
Well, if any of you got nothing to do tonight, if I can get my setup done, I'm probably going to live stream some views from my telescope tonight.
Cool.
Jupiter is going to look fantastic, I hope.
Yeah, I've seen.
Just don't show us close up of Uranus. That's the important thing.
Mary's had some pictures I've seen on Facebook.
Yeah, I commented on his image.
Yeah, I read it.
Yeah,
Here we go again. Keep trying to go off the rails.
No. We're talking about astronomy.
Are you going to show Uranus tonight?
No, actually, that's incorrectly pronounced, but I'll ignore that.
Yeah.
It's Uranus is the proper enunciation, but okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's from a different country, so it counts.
No
close-ups, please. No close-ups.
But no, Jupiter and Saturn are in the sky tonight. They're on either side of the moon, so it'll look really good once it gets dark. So I'm going to probably go out and get set up outside within the next half hour or so. I'll start getting set up because I have to do a rough alignment. I have to unpack all my equipment out of its boxes because it's the imaging rig I'm setting up, the one with the big tripod and that had the big scope on top. If you remember my video I posted on that one. So I'm going to use my imaging rig not with a refractor, but with an SCT on the back. So
it's because you're from Ireland. You say Uranus.
No, Uranus is everyone in astronomy calls it that.
Stop!
He's from Michigan, isn't he?
Yeah.
Who, me? I'm from Michigan.
Yeah.
We all speak like this.
Well, how does Tim pronounce it? How do you pronounce it, Tim?
Pronounce what? Liam?
No.
What are we pronouncing?
He's got to do it in the French version.
Yeah.
Well, we know how Tim pronounces it. It's like
urine.
It's like the boxes that I get from China. They're supposed to be 3D printers, and they're all mixed up with some other. Like they must have came from a restaurant because it says on the outside, "You go home now. You here all day eating."
What's that cost a spool there, Tim?
I love Chinese food.
I haven't looked yet, to be honest. I got 10 spools with the printer from the Kickstarter, but I believe it's something like $30 a spool, but you've got to order 10 spools at a time.
They're 1 kilo or 500?
They are 1 kilo.
Yeah, that's cheap. That's cheap for flexible.
Yeah, and if you look this is a piece right off the spool. So this is how flexible this is. Basically, is
wow.
Yeah. ZYLTECH sells orange stuff like that for $21 a roll, and I actually used it on a job, and it worked really well.
You got cell spanking. That's extra bonus points for cell spanking.
Ow, that does hurt.
Spanking machine.
Well, that and it's a 2. Now to do the flexible, it has to be the 2.85 head because it's got a 2.85 and a 1.75 head. He used to use the 2.85 because the filament only comes in 2.85.
Yeah, so and it's 1 kilogram of 2.85, so you're not getting as much as you would as a kilogram of 1.75.
Why not?
No, you're still getting the same amount.
We're getting the same amount.
A kilo.
But you're not getting the same length.
Doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter because you're extruding it through a nozzle. The amount you're extruding is the exact same.
Okay. And it's a 0.6 nozzle as well. So
okay, Tim, here's a question for you. Which is heavier?
You're muted, Dixon. You muted yourself.
A ton of feathers or a ton of coal?
Okay, let me think. So they're both 2,000 pounds, but one's feathers and one's coal. So if you're asking me which I would rather carry, I would probably rather carry the feathers because if I fell, it would be a softer landing.
No, it's a ton weight still.
I know.
Tim's taking the piss. Tim's just taking
Do
the
you think
piss.
I'm Canadian and really dumb? Like
No, no,
Yes.
no, no, no.
All you guys know is
That's-
about
no, we
syrup
never
and
say that.
Canadian
Spanking the monkey. Spank that monkey. Yeah, that's it.
No,
Spank that
I'd never say that about you.
I
I'd say that
understand
about
what you
Kieran. I'd never say that about you.
I don't understand what you mean
Yeah,
about
'cause
tons.
the only reason is because you know damn well I can't reach that far. Tim
you talk
could drive down
kilograms
and give
for
you
me?
a hammering. I can't.
Yeah.
You're talking
That's
tons.
the only reason.
Sorry?
I need you to talk kilograms, not tons. I'm in Canada.
Yeah, yeah.
How
Hey,
many kilograms?
I can speak
I'm going to
metric.
laser that.
But are we talking about a long ton or a short ton?
Hey,
though? That's
Liam,
the important question.
I'm going to laser that, and then I can show it in my video. And for you guys out there that want to spank the monkey, and then I can hold up that on a coaster.
I'm going to change the name of my channel.
I just won't laugh
Yeah.
when I say it. I'll have a straight face when I say it. So
Tim the monkey spanker.
There probably is a channel out there already called that, I bet, if you look.
I'm sure.
yeah, when I
My
Google
brain's
it, I'm
already
thinking,
going how
what
to
am I
make
gonna
money.
see here when I Google that?
Selling coasters.
Don't Google that one. Do not Google that channel.
Ooh, that would make great coasters, though.
Yeah,
Spank the
but
monkey.
we know Tim the Tool Man, but Tim here, he's Tim the Tool Head.
Cool. Hey, I like that.
Now we're getting really technical.
Yeah, Dan, they can't fool me with their trick questions. I'm on the ball. I wear my hard hat sometimes.
Sometimes.
The ZYLTECH soft material orange, I had a customer I had to use a bunch of this, and it's only $21 a roll, so it worked out pretty good.
Nice.
But I don't know how fast you can run with it, Tim, but I have to run my machines like 40% to make this work.
Yeah, this is right now. This is running at about 25 millimeters per minute.
I don't know, how fast can you run, Tim?
How fast can I run?
Yeah,
Only until my belly starts going too far, and then I
Exactly.
have to slow down. So,
exactly.
Do you
Gotta get the
create
oscillations
earthquakes?
timed right,
That's the
yeah.
question.
golf ball. It printed a golf ball for me. So, and it actually bounces. So yeah, you can print toys.
These guys are so spoiled with film.
So
boards
these are
and-
the only
and
ones
cheap
that
cost
your
filament.
missus doesn't have in her purse. Okay.
Make a good dog toy because I can't bite through it.
Is that more standard? Because over here I pay in Australian dollars, which is
It's not bad.
that's between $25 and $35 a kilo for Australian dollars, which is 20 to 25 for
US.
standard. I pay if I want silk PLA, I got to pay about $5 a kilo more. If I want to get Ninja Flex, then we're looking at $85 a kilo.
Oh yeah, Ninja Flex is expensive.
Yeah.
If I want to
There's
get standard
alternatives like this stuff
Yeah.
here is alternatives to Ninja Flex.
Ooh.
Everybody makes it now.
95A, I'm looking at around $40 for half a kilo. So, but it's still about the same price.
Well,
Same
for
standard
95A is normal TPU,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's here. You can buy you could buy some of that out there for $20 a spool, roughly $22
Is that a kilo? That's a kilo
per
spool.
kilo for 95A.
Yeah, no, I've got to pay more here, so I can get it in half kilos or kilos, and it's about $70, and I got to pay about $85 for Ninja Flex a
Well,
kilo.
Ninja Flex is $40 for half
Yeah.
kilo.
That gets rough in Canada too because the prices are higher. It's harder to shipping, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that extra 30 or 40 miles in a truck's very expensive. Yeah. The roads are rougher. Once you cross that border, the roads are rougher. Everything's dearer.
Don't you have
And it's even harder for you because they all have to drive upside down. So that's what.
Yeah, true. It's very hard. Yeah. Stuff gets
But-
taken around a lot.
But in Canada, the road is nice.
Tim's not biting either, so.
Oh,
No,
I lied. Okay, this TPR, the filament for this is $59.99 a roll.
okay, that's similar to Ninja Flex, and well, no,
Yeah.
it's actually cheaper than Ninja Flex because a half kilo of Ninja Flex is about $45.
Okay, yeah, and this is a kilo.
But that's the what you said, it's 65A?
Well, that's what Tim's stuff is 65A, yeah.
Really,
Ninja
really
Flex
flexible.
is 85.
85 if you get the Ninja Flex, and then what's the other one? The Cheetah? Cheetah's 75?
Cheetah is 95.
Then what's the softer one? There's one. They got a softer one again.
They have, I have never used it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I know they
'cause
have
got-
one, but
These guys make a laser as well. I should see if they'll send me one.
do me a favor, Tim.
Yeah.
You have a contact there with Adam Stack?
I have a gentleman I've been speaking with in the, I think he's in the sales department. Yeah.
Would you be willing to share their contact with me?
Yeah. I'll text it to you after.
Yeah, send it over to me, yeah, please. Because they've been ignoring any messages I've been reaching out to them, and they've been totally ignoring them.
Really?
I've been unable to get someone to communicate with. They've been, not even a response, nothing.
Wow.
Maybe wrong email.
Did you get a lot of extra spools from people, Ian Liam, for the touch?
I've got 5 spools from when I was on Jerry's stream the other day, his giveaway. I got 4 spools, and Focus added a 5th one, so they sent me 5. And probably by this time tomorrow or by Monday at the latest, they'll be empty. I've used them all, but they send me PLA Plus, and it's like remember that when a while ago when I showed the printer, I showed the print.
Yeah,
that's their PLA Plus. It prints fantastic.
Wow, I saw there was this lady that wrote on your Facebook. Was it Jerry that shared your post where you asked for PLA?
Go on.
Well, she said she would send you some. Did you get that?
She sent me 2 spools. That was from ZYLTECH.
Right.
And there's the ones from ZYLTECH I got. One is printing great. The other one won't print.
Huh.
I've tried it at PLA temperatures, it will not print. I've tried it at PLA Plus, it won't print. I've tried it at PETG temps, it won't print. I've dried it for 10 hours, it won't print.
Wow, that's crazy.
It under extrudes all the time, and when I measure the diameter, and there's inconsistencies in the diameter of the filament, so it was an extrusion issue. So, but the other spool they gave me prints like a charm at PLA temperatures, so I have no problem there.
Yeah.
One of them just will not print. I can't get it to print no matter what.
Yeah, you said something like that, or you all did, that some spools are just rubbish, no matter what you do.
Yeah, it depends on the extrusion. This one thing, it's one spool. I'm not knocking the company, because a lot of people use ZYLTECH and they love the material, and I have one spool that prints great.
I know. I'm not bashing them. Don't worry. It's just have you tried on a different printer?
I tried it on 3 different printers.
Wow. Okay. That's
so
weird.
It's not but it's not the printers. It is definitely the material.
Yeah.
But I did check it, and there are some inconsistencies. I'm guessing there may be some lumps in some little bubbles in the material somewhere. That's causing it. It's a slightly transparent red that they give, but one is printing great, and I'm using it. The other one is going to sit there because I can't use it. But I might pull out a couple of meters of it, chop it off, and try again, see if it makes a difference. But other than that, that's printing great. And I also got 2 spools from everyone, and they sent me 2 spools, and I've been printing with that as well.
That's cool.
Speaking of TPU and Tim with his little blowtorch, I've printed TPU on the CR6, no problem. The only issue is trying to get the TPU through the extruder. And the trick there I found is to burn 5 or 6 mils at the end, and it will stiffen up when you heat it with the blowtorch or a match, it'll actually harden up, and then it's no problem feeding it through the actual extruder to get into your Bowden tube.
Well, there's a little hack you can do on the Creality extruders. On the end, on where the filament comes into the extruder, right? What happens is it gets twisted up in the extruder, right? So what you do is you can modify. You have to print a modified extruder, but the extruder feeds in. You have to drill it out and put TPU in there, or not TPU. Put in PTFE tubing,
Polyflow.
Guide.
Yep.
and
guide, yeah.
angle the PTFE tubing so it goes right up by the gears,
Yep. Cut it like a
and
V.
then
That's
it'll
what I
feed
do.
in.
But no, they said that the trick I did, I just basically heated up or burnt the centimeter at the end. It stiffens it, and then it just goes through the extruder into the Bowden tube, and it'll just go through no problem after once it passed the extruder wheels.
But even then, if we're using like Ninja Flex and so on, there's still a chance without that feeder to feed into the gears, it could actually get caught in the gears and twist around the gears.
I print all my.
I wouldn't
all
know
my
because this thing's a sealed extruder, so there's no opening, so you can't actually see the gears.
Oh.
So that's why, unless you swap it out with the generic Creality replacement.
I could run it. I could run it through all my
CNC.
printers at 40%. But if I want to go faster, I have to take that polyflow and cut it like a V and put that in the extruder. Then I can run faster.
Yeah, I had never tried the foaming PLA. It sounds like an interesting idea. It would make great infill. Actually, I was thinking if you had like on my IDEX, use one print head doing PLA, and the infill would be assigned to extruder 2, which would be the foaming stuff. And as it prints it would foam up and fill out more of the inside as part of
the videos on that stuff's really strange looking as it expands out of the nozzle. It's quite weird.
That's what I was thinking. It'd make a great infill material.
How would you adjust your temperature to get your infill and then go back to normal walls, back to your infill temperature?
No. See, it won't matter with an IDEX because one extruder would be on the infill temperature and assigned to infill, and the outer walls and everything would be on the other extruder. So one would extruder 1. Head 1 would print the walls and stuff, and head 2 would come over.
But how do you distinguish that in the G code to swap extruder heads?
If you set your Cura or whatever it is to a dual extruder, there's options in there to assign different parts of it to different extruder heads.
Okay.
Yeah, it's done in the slicer. It's done in the slicer.
Yep.
IDEX.
Yep. That's
so
interesting to know.
Supports has been one material, or extruder 2.
Yeah, I can understand that for supports versus but just thinking inner walls and outer walls, so you can do the same. That's good.
Yeah,
that's
but you want to do inner and outer walls the same as with the extruder 1.
But infill.
But the infill and the support can be extruder 2.
That'd be a good idea. Yeah. Exactly.
Let me set up a different extruder, and I can show you the way.
Did anybody ever try that? I never heard of it.
What?
Does it expand like foam?
It does. It foams up and bubbles up and foams. Yeah.
Yeah. It's some videos.
You think you wouldn't be able to control it while you're printing?
It's temperature related.
Okay.
Nice.
Blowing out a little bit.
A lot of times I use on my parts, though, I have to use Idea Maker so I can make certain areas solid, for threading and stuff.
It's got some sort of gas built into the filament, so temperature heats up and expands the gas and foams it.
See, Dum-Dum.
Really weird.
Yeah. I'm going to share the screen, Jerry. 1 second.
All right.
And as an aside, Chinchilla is the 75A from Ninja.
You can choose which extruder you want for the support, infill, and so on.
Okay.
And then for extruder 1 and then extruder 2, I can switch it around and do the other way around if I want to.
Okay.
So you can either have them matching, you can have them different. The same for temperature. You can have different temps.
For the nozzle 1 and nozzle and extruder 2.
Yeah, you can go in and you can do different.
Which for that foaming
layer
stuff would be
heights.
perfect.
You can do different layer heights. So you can do extruder 1 would be doing a layer height of 0.2. An extruder 2 could be doing a layer height of 0.4 or 0.6 of a layer if you had a larger nozzle, because they don't have to match. You only need to match when you're doing duplicate or mirror modes, but when you're doing normal mode, you do not have to match at all.
But wouldn't that cause issues with your, for example, you're doing the infill on one layer height and the walls, wouldn't they not line up because you'd be stepping?
Not necessarily, no, because if you do 2 layers on one and you can, there's ways of tweaking it to make it do 2 layers of the outside walls in one infill layer. So it speeds up your process. You can speed it up in a much faster way. There's a lot of tweaks you can do with it to make it faster.
Yeah,
And each
there's
slicer
there's
has
so
different
many
options.
settings. There's so many settings in either Cura or Prusa Slicer that just I'll stay with the defaults. I don't want to get. I'll stay with the defaults.
Yeah,
It's so
no, but
easy
I
to
tweak
screw up
them
the
an
printing.
awful
Yeah,
lot.
yeah,
I tweak my settings, and I would say I probably change about 70% of the slicer settings, depending on the material.
I'm lucky if I do 7%.
No,
Flow
I change,
rate,
like I
temperatures,
do outer like
retractions.
if I need to do PETG, I will do Curat because I have outer wall wipe which I turn on. You don't have most other slicers. A lot of other slicers don't have that. Um, if I'm doing PLA or if I'm doing something that has continuous walls, I will do Idea Maker because it's great because I don't care about stringing in the inside of the part, right? And I'm not only doing one part, I'm not hopping from part to part. So, because when I'm hopping from part to part, I want to wipe the nozzle before I move. And like Cura has that, Prusa Slicer doesn't, Slicer doesn't have those settings. So there's
And
some things
Simplify
that other
3D.
slicers don't have.
Yeah. But
And
with
so,
I mean, they just dropped the new release of Cura, and which gives you that monotonic, which something that Prusa had previously, having all the orientated
for the
tops.
top layers.
Yeah, for the top layers. So they're pretty close now, really, aren't they? Now with that latest
Prusa
edition.
has added, well, no, but the new version of Prusa has added the ability to actually paint an area and then assign that painted area to a different extruder.
Okay.
They've added that in the latest release in the Prusa Slicer. So you can actually use Prusa now to take a single color part. You can highlight the area
and
and assign that area to extruder 2, and it will actually print it with E2, even though E1 is doing most of your print.
So
you
that's
can actually do
getting
a
close to
two-color
what
print.
Canvas does with the mosaic, where you can actually paint.
Yeah,
with the pen.
so it
Yeah,
allows
yeah,
you to
yeah.
do that. Yeah, so they've added that now. Prusa Slicer has.
Okay.
Cura doesn't have that yet, but it'll probably will in time. But that's a
So
nice
I mean,
feature.
I haven't tried doing anything else. I just keep using the Cura because I know what works and I have no
I
problems
don't
so far.
believe so, Curmudgeon. I don't think Super Slicer has that option. I'm not a big user of Super Slicer. I used to use it a little bit in the past, so I'm not sure. But I don't believe it does. Not all of them have that outer wall wipe. Now, and Cura has also added new stuff this time around for
Hello, HC. How you
when
doing?
they're changing as well. They've added some new settings in there as well. For
I haven't installed
white.
the new one yet. I'm just looking at some of the videos to see what the extra features are. But because 10 works nice.
Yeah.
I did like the fuzzy skin option on certain things. That comes out really nice in the Cura fuzzy skin. It does.
So like they all have their good and bad points. Like Prusa Slicer add something else. Someone else come on and add that, and it enhance it even more, and add more functionality to it. So they're all similar. That was like Prusa Slicer and none of the others have the ability to add a texture to the outside. Whereas Idea Maker, you can get an image and make that image and out the texture to the outside of your part. So it actually changes the outside of the outer texture of your part.
So you can actually put a custom texture on
the outside of your part. So if I can get it, like if I print a box, I can get a texture of design with a design on it, bring it into Idea Maker, and it will inlay that, and actually embed it and inlay it into your part. So now when you print the walls or whatever, it will have that design built in.
So you could, in effect, on a plain box, put like an embossed zigzag around the outside, or an embossed wavy line.
Yep. Let me get open Idea Maker and I can show you 1 second.
Is that the new version now, or when's the last time you downloaded?
Oh, they've had that for a while now in Idea Maker. They're telling me they have a new one, but I'm going to download it later.
But does that have any limitations where it start to impact the actual model itself?
Well, you can decide where it gets laid, where on the part it gets laid.
That
Inner walls or whatever that you can do.
The Necromancer vase should be open on the top, right?
Correct. In vase mode, just make sure you're actually in vase mode. It's designed to work in vase mode only. So.
Okay, because I'm putting 6440 in until I just bought it, and it's got a top layer. When I go 0 top layers, the top's not finished.
But have you enabled vase mode?
I rarely use vase mode because I don't want things spongy soft. I want them to be thick.
No, but for the Necromancer, it's designed to be printed in vase mode. So therefore, it's otherwise all his vase models are in vase mode. Otherwise, they're solid.
Huh. Well, I need to beef it up so it's not flimsy.
I hear a little wolf in the background.
I'm
So
trying to find a good model.
in that
to
case,
show
you'd
you.
want to have no top layers, Jerry, and no infill if you want to beef up the walls.
Yeah. Let's see if
And
it's
that should
finished.
take off your top. But all his vases. Let's just bring it up. All his vases are in 4 vase mode. Let's just have a look here. Pockety spring. Yeah, when I first printed it out, I said to the wife, I thought she liked it. Thought you didn't like snakes. What do you mean snakes? The whole thing's snakes. No, it's not. Yes, it is. It's got eyes on them.
Oh, I see an
Snakes.
idea maker. That's pretty cool. They got a library, and you can get all kinds of textures.
And you can upload your own.
I did not
any
know
image,
that.
any JPEG file will work.
Because I used to use years ago, a couple years ago, I used to use Cura, and I switched over all my profiles to Idea Maker, and I love that software.
The
Yeah,
top
so let me
doesn't
share
look
my
finished.
screen.
That doesn't look finished.
So I'm going to share my screen here.
Hold
1
on.
second.
Okay, here you see it where it shows that it's sealed, right?
Yeah, because that's designed to be printed in vase mode. That's why. Let me just bring it up in
Outer
Cura.
perimeters. Okay, it changed it. It went bottom layers 4, 1 perimeter, because I got right here base mode picked. Normally it would be 6, 4, 4, but it doesn't look finished. Okay, see
All
how
right,
this?
people.
Can you see my
I'm
mouse?
Gonna
Yep, you can
jump
see your
off.
mouse. Yep.
Well, take care. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. Have a good
Take
one,
care,
guys.
Nick.
Later.
Yeah.
See you later.
This
I'll just
right
see what
here
it
looks
does.
this looks finished.
Yep.
But as soon as I slice it, that's not going to look like that. See, now it doesn't look like that. See how this looks open?
Yep. Yeah. Let me just see what it looks like in Cura. Hang on 1 second, Jerry. Let me just do this. So spiralize, slice. Let's go to preview just to check. Yeah, that's how it looks. That's normal. That's what it looks like. I'll grab the vase and show you. Hang on 1 second. I'll grab the vase and show you what it looks like on
Okay.
top.
Yeah,
How
grab
about
my
the
Jerry and you can
bench?
show the texture features for a second while he's doing that.
How about the Banshee printed in 3
So,
minutes
There,
and
there,
39 seconds?
so there's a plain shape, right? And we go to
Yep.
texture, we go to custom texture, and then we can choose from, let's say, texture, spherical design. So I can add, let's say, they have ones in here, don't they? I think they have. Let's see. Import from Idea Maker library. And I'm just going to go to the library. 1 second, I'm going to get an image and I'll bring it in. So
Yeah, that's crazy. They got
let's
hundreds
get a
of
diamond
textures.
plate, a diamond plate effect.
What's that object on the build plate?
It's just a model he's thrown in there.
It's just a model, therefore. So let's see here. Download the image. Next.
Oh, that's cool. I gotta give that a try tomorrow.
So now it added that texture to the model.
Oh, you can see the checker plate, but it's quite a coarse checker plate. Yep.
Yeah,
see
but
that.
then
Yep,
you can
yep.
you can move it around.
Okay. That's
You
that's
can-
cool.
you can
That's
get
a
it
cool
to
feature.
repeat. You can rotate it. You can have a spherical or cubic in its design.
Hey, Kenneth.
Okay, let's.
There you
There,
go.
there,
That
you
looks
shrunk it there.
nice.
So that looks better. Yep. So you
That
can.
diamond plate.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
diamond
and
checker
then,
plate.
and then what you do is
Yeah.
when you slice it, let's do a slice and preview, right? That would
Well,
be
if they can do
better.
that, then it shouldn't be long, and you should be able to just grab a JPEG image and put it on the face.
You can.
Can you do that right now in Idea Maker?
Yeah, you can just bring in any JPEG.
Wow, it's
So
crazy.
you can
That's-
use
that's
what
cool.
stuff that's out there or bring in your own image. And so this is slicing. Okay, let's do a preview of the slice.
But once again, that would depend on how thick the pattern is to have an impact. Yeah, but that's cool.
Yeah,
man.
but
It's
it
real
does
cool.
it does add
Yeah.
an overall texture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on their website. And they got hundreds of textures. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
So what you get is
that looks cool, man. Yeah, the
it
little
adds
the-
that plate
Yeah.
effect to it.
Yeah, that is crazy, man.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Now you can build any model of a building and throw the brick texture right on it.
Yeah.
You don't have to draw it up or anything anymore.
Or even if you just if you're putting a plain box, some box object to hold a PCB or something, you can just put your own pattern on it.
Yeah,
Yep.
Customize your pattern.
Yep.
That's cool.
that's a
That
beautiful
is
feature.
cool. That's a cool feature.
Yeah,
Because
they
it's a
have what
pain in
you're
the
called-
ass trying to make a model up. I want
Harsh
I want to
bricks.
customize my model, individualize it, throw a checker panel on it, and that's awesome. But here you go,
Yeah.
Jerry. This is what it looks like on the top in vase mode.
Okay.
So it is quite open on top.
Okay.
Okay, Jerry, they're live already for the touchdown. Now it's not going to happen yet, but they're live already.
Yeah.
In
Another
preparation for the return.
another half hour, 45 minutes before they start to pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they are getting ready. They're doing all the prep and getting ready, and they're in their suits and they're getting ready for their return. They're not going to
Folding
land
up
for
the
another
hatch.
few hours, but
Okay, right.
Oh, good luck.
That's crazy, Dixon. That's some awesome stuff. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, that's
the
I
brick
did not
feature is
know.
nice.
Oh, boy, it's working. I did not know. I want to start having more fun. And when I see this stuff, it's like I'm going to check into this right away tomorrow.
Yeah, this adds a lot. Like you can do it like a thing of a house. Like
There he is.
you see there are
Put it
two
on the
models,
side
one
also.
for the roof and one for the base. You can give them
Yeah.
different textures and print them with that texture on it.
And which
That's
slicer is that? Is that Idea? It's not Idea
It's
Maker.
Idea Maker, yeah.
Is it Idea Maker? Okay.
And the nice thing about Idea Maker is if you go in here and you get a texture from their website. Let me show this actually. It might be actually. Let me show this again. Let's say go to texture again. And I'm going to change the texture to import from Idea Maker library. It's going to give me a window, so let me drag the window over. 1 second. So
So that's Dixon's weekend taken care of.
yeah. So Jerry, if you see, let me share my screen again. Share. Okay. So Jerry, pop me up on screen. So one thing is, let's say these were the textures they have, right, on their website.
Yep.
So let's say we're going to pick a texture, and I would say import, right? All I have to do is click import, hit copy. Now it'll do nothing else. If I go back to Idea Maker, it automatically brings it in to download. That's all I have to do is click.
Yeah.
And it's the same for the printer profiles and everything. Click next.
You could
Yeah.
probably just download.
Now the
you
new pattern's been assigned here.
You could probably just download the whole library.
You can't do them all at once, but I can shrink it
Okay.
down so it's more common. I can change the scale. I can rotate it if I want to rotate it in different patterns.
Imagine now if you were going to do some vases like that for a wedding.
Oh yeah, and then you can do is cubic or spherical, which is slightly, but a cubic is nice.
Years ago, I made like 12 vases for a wedding.
And you can do clamp to edge, so you can say you want on the you can do the clamp to edge on the outer edge, or clamp to only the borders only. So it only puts it on the top border. So you can make a lot of different stuff in it. Like you can move it down. So I want to clamp to an edge, but I want to move it down from the top.
Yeah, the
Well,
software's getting crazy.
It is.
Now, so let's see how it looks over here. So this looks a bit weird because it's overlapping. So let's adjust. That's not what I want. I want
Oh,
that.
Liam, in Simplified 3D on the Focus printer, you know how you can see pictures on their files?
Yes,
How can I do that option? in
you need to install the MKS Wi-Fi plugin for Cura.
I don't use Cura.
Well, you need to use Cura.
Just to see a picture.
But
on
this
the
is
screen.
Cura.
Yes, because what it does is Cura then what it does is it creates at the beginning of your G code file, it creates a numerical block, and your machine, the firmware renders that as the image.
Okay, but why is it called the MKS Wi-Fi?
Because it's the MKS Robin, it's the Robin board, and they use the MKS Wi-Fi, and that has the option to create
Okay.
the preview.
I mean, I have used Cure. It's just really rare that I use it. All right, thank you.
Yeah, but that's what you have to use, that plugin.
All right.
So we have that there. So let's slice that now and see how it looks. Yeah, you can use this for a lot of stuff. Like you can get a plain vase and add it to the vase, and print.
That's just
the part
crazy, yeah. That's just crazy. But I said more for customizing boxes or containers or
Well,
things
whatever
like that.
you want, though, you can do it for anything. This takes a moment to preview because I mean,
Cura Fuzzy Skin's a starting point of that, which is great. But
yeah, but this is this is allowing you to bring in your own design, your own image, your own whatever, and what you end up getting is
your own logo. You could put your own logo all over your object or emboss
Yeah,
the
it
logo.
saves a lot of
orientation,
time
yeah.
because now if you're going to do one of those moons, which I did a couple and I sold, you can throw an image on there now and it should do the same thing.
But you could put your own.
This is what it does. Like, look.
You don't have to go through all the work. Well, that
model
litho,
No modeling, yeah.
that image
even
to
just-
litho software works real well, but it's still.
So it's nice. It's
Even just putting your own
lovely
company
feature.
logo on everything you print off. You just
Yeah,
put your
company logo.
No,
You can do it
your
on.
logo down.
Now, the
Every
thing
single
is, it
print.
repeats it. So you'd have to do a lot of tweaking of the settings to get the company logo exactly where you want. And you can assign it to one specific face, but
Yeah.
you'd have to do some tweaking in it. But you can get it to work, and it's really nice.
Yeah, that's a clever option, yeah.
On some parts years ago, I ordered them ID tags, and I embedded them in the print, and then it would print over them, and then you could take your phone, and you could zap that part, and my website would come up.
Yeah.
Oh, you like an RF tag.
Well, you could
Yeah.
do a Q.
Yep.
You could do this for embedding a QR code on an
Yeah,
item.
yeah.
I showed that to the engineer. He says, "Here, take your phone and tap it on that part, and then my website would come up."
So advertising via stealth.
So there's some nice, there's some nice functionality in Idea Maker. I read it. And
on the
Idea
bottom of every
Maker,
print you do, you put a QR code, bang, and
Yeah.
you just scan in an instant.
and you
because
can
on the
also
base
do
it doesn't matter.
slicing. Like
Yeah,
Idea
that's
Maker
what I-
allows you
that's
to
what I-
cut the part up as well, right?
That's what it was, and then that code would jump you right to your business or
yeah.
website.
Yeah. But you can
Yeah, I
also
looked at
cut the
Idea
part up,
Maker
you know, with
2
Idea
years ago,
Maker.
and I just loved it.
You can cut planes and all this kind of stuff.
So,
So
like
things that can do that.
So it's like Mesh Mixer built into it.
Yeah,
Yes.
but a Prusa slicer can do that too. You know.
Okay,
Prusa
yeah,
slicer
Cura
can do
doesn't
it
yet.
as
Yeah,
well.
because Cura's
So you can
not
divide
there
the
for
part
that.
up. A couple of them do that, but
Yeah.
one thing about them is they are constantly developing it.
Yes.
They're constantly releasing new versions.
I-
on an
I would say-
ongoing basis.
I would say them are the three top dogs: is Idea Maker, Kira, and Prusa.
I would say so. Yeah.
Yep.
And they obviously they build off each other. Looks like.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
they
I
got
would-
a situation where they don't have to rely on making money, because it's not like people that bought that, what was it, 123D, or no, what was that other software?
S3D.
Yeah, 3D. Yeah.
They don't. They're in trouble because they don't make printers, or they like Kira makes
That's what
printers.
Cheetahbox is going to go down that road. No one's going to buy stuff at Cheetahbox locking into that one.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
not
use
using
Cheetahbox,
slicer,
yeah.
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 Yep. You'd
But-
have to keep developing it and make it better.
But there's a lot of I would like if they added the ability to do paint on supports like Prusa has, and they'll probably will get there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd like the ability to be able to paint paint an area, and like select an area, a surface, and assign that surface to another extruder.
Now
for
imagine
IDEX.
imagine your IDEX and you put orange on one side and a green on the other, and you tell that head to do the exterior to do that pattern.
If you could select it and assign it to another extruder, yes, that would be fantastic. You can't do that yet.
If you
But-
could do that texture.
Yeah, but if they added that and you can assign it to if you could assign that to a different extruder, then yeah, it'd be easy. Yeah.
You see any advantages as far as making money with an IDEX? is that you don't have a waste block with an IDEX, do you?
You don't need a purge tower,
Yeah.
no.
I would not buy anything because you're wasting material.
So much.
But you see any advantages besides doing 2 parts at once, or I'm talking
Doing
for
2 part-
production?
mirroring is good because you can design one part
Left, yep.
and you just mirror in the other side in the printer, and that's it. You don't have to design the second part.
But left and right straight away.
And then you can do them at the
automatically
same time, yeah, because you
Yeah,
can mirror
yeah.
with anything.
Yeah,
you know.
so it mirrors, which is nice. You don't have to tell it to mirror in the software. It will just enable printing in one part and mirror. It will automatically do a mirror. Duplication is nice because you can do 2 parts at the same time. Dual color is nice. Or if you want to do dual material, so let's say I want to do dissolvable material on one extruder and PLA or
Like-
PETG or
Like
whatever.
dissolvable
extruder too.
supports or something
Because
like that.
they're independent heads, they can have different temperatures. So I can print one, and I can print my supports with PLA, or I can print my supports with
Dissolvable
this
PLA or
solvent, or I can in their slicer say only do the support interface with extruder 2. That means I can print it all with PLA, but where the 2 parts meet, use extruder 2, which is water, which is soluble support, so I don't waste all my soluble material. And it only does it where the 2 meet. Now I have it. Now I only need to dissolve the areas where they join, and it falls off.
I've got Cheetah Box Pro I'm trying out free for a year, and I've got regular Cheetah Box. It's got a lot of bells and whistles, but for like 140 or 50 bucks a year, no. The free
Not worth
version
it,
works
no.
perfectly
Yeah.
fine.
If you're doing professionally, if you're working full time, and you're using it all day, every day to make money
Yeah.
out of it,
Then you can
then
go
it
and buy
makes
it.
sense.
For the
But
hobby
otherwise,
maker,
no.
You need to do a lot to cover that. Even $100 and something a year is a lot
That's
to
crazy.
pay for that. Yeah.
Okay.
See, that's
I've been
another
using- I've been using Cheetah Box now for a little while, couple months, and I think certain things need to be changed to make it easier.
Is
Like,
that must be a different one, Liam, right? The splashdown, that's not today.
No, no, that's showing the last. No,
Yeah.
I'm not looking at it live. Bring it up on screen.
No, they're
See,
just
that's
talking. They're just talking right now.
They're probably showing the old one because the new one is supposed to be at
Yeah.
7 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah.
That's another
7:06.
thing I love
or
about
406.
Idea Maker is sequential printing, because then it's not running all over doing 4 separate parts. It's zipping out one part and then the next one and the next one, and then it jogs
Cura
back.
does it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Cura does
Gary,
that.
it's 406 PST. So
And I
4
like the
o'clock
modifier.
Yeah.
The modifier is very helpful. If I have to put inserts for threads that have to be brass or steel rather than plastic, the modifier is awesome, because I'll tell that section to say, hey, make that little 1/4-inch square solid, and then you can put an insert in there, for
You can
threads.
do that. Yeah, you can do that with Idea Maker.
And DeWitt Tim there made me my banner. You guys see the blue border where it says 3D HP live with 3D HP up in the corner. Tim made that for me. Thank you very much, Tim.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
I have to go to YouTube and see what's happening over there.
I think
They're
I figured-
still chatting. They're in mission control. Nothing's going on. If I see anything, it looks like something. Okay, well, here's something. Maybe nothing happened, but I can show you. There's
I'll bring it up, but I'm going to mute it.
yeah, there's astronauts there, but nothing's happening.
Yeah, but so it's nice. You can do a lot with it. That's why I like Idea Maker.
Yep.
Yeah, they're getting ready for the return right now. They're strapped in, ready for the return.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they have a lot to do for return, like because
Oh, an awful
they're
lot,
out they're so far out. They have to do multiple burns to come back in to get
Slow down,
into
yeah.
where they're for approach.
So this failed because the flat connector came undone. Now this is where that flat connector went in.
Yep.
And there's little clips on the end of it that are broken, and that's the black piece that's supposed to go in and
Yeah,
hold
that's
it.
And
like-
those connectors are about as
horrible.
useful as
Yeah,
chocolate
yeah.
teapots.
Fortunately,
You want the
fortunately, they gave me a spare one of these, so I
My TV
swapped
set
this out,
is like that.
and it's fine now. So
yeah.
I
You
would
want the
pour-
wide format keyed locking ones like the old IDE
They need
cables.
to be
That's-
metal,
Yeah.
and they need to be
Yeah.
metal locking.
yeah.
For now, I would put hot glue all over that so it can't break like that.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
idea. When you put it in,
Yeah.
hot glue it.
Yeah, but the thing is, then when I go to swap out hot ends, what do I
You
do?
can peel off the hot glue.
I suppose so. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, at least
As I say-
one bead each side to give it some sort of
Yeah.
strain relief. Like
Yeah,
a
they
Put
gave
that
us
on
a
the
relief
bead
area.
side, on the opposite side to
Yeah.
the clip, not on the clip side.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Couple
gave me
beads
a-
like spot weld.
Yeah, they gave me a spare, so I put the spare on the hot end for now. This one's actually the spare one, so I'm going to reach out to them and say, when you send me the hot end parts, throw in a couple of these, and I'm
Yeah.
going to suggest to them that they change the design of that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the
they
problem.
need to be metal clips, and then
Yeah,
the wood
wider.
need to have a metal clip on the end, so when they go together, they lock into place and
But
they
they're
cannot
not going to
release.
change it, so you're stuck with what you got.
Pretty much.
Pogo connectors. Something like that gets moved often.
Yeah.
Pogo connectors with a storage.
Either that, or I could come up
Yeah.
with something on my own somehow.
Ribbon
So-
connectors are not made to move all the time.
No, they just
Them are
once
for
they're
in
locked, they're
in
done.
computers. Yeah, them are
Stay
for
there.
in computers and stuff like that because that's the first place that's going to fail.
Yeah,
But this
and
is
by the way,
pretty- I mean,
we don't
that
want a
all-
rod. That's the
that
last
made
thing
it-
we want.
2 layers, and it's very flexible, actually.
Would you
So-
want the whole case done in that, or would you rather have something stiffer on the inside and just the outer corners and the outer edges as a bumper?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying this for fun,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
to
No.
do something different than their test files. But
Yeah. You
I don't
probably
even
want
have
to do that. You probably want to print that inside another case. So you
Yeah.
put that around it, and then you push that into another case, and then you put
Yeah.
another bigger version of that around the outside case. So you have a
Otherwise-
double buffer.
Yeah,
otherwise, when I drop
stiffer
my
on the
phone,
inside and flexible on the outside. Yeah.
but if I drop my phone, it'll just go bounce. So no.
Well, if you drop it without the thing, it'll bounce too. It'll just
Yep.
when it bounces and comes up, it'll come in multiple pieces.
Yeah.
You got to make a giant golf ball and put a slot in it, and then you can slide your phone in there.
There we go.
Throw it
That
all
would
over.
work.
A golf
Everything
ball.
is airdroppable at least once, Tim. That's the important thing to remember. Everything is airdroppable at least once.
At least once. Yeah.
Speaking of
At
dropping
least once.
balls,
Hey, Jerry.
where's tripod
At least
at?
once.
Come
I
on.
haven't seen that tripod today, or
No, I don't
Yeah, I
know.
haven't seen John. He could be working.
the tech guy. He's
Oh,
not
no.
here either.
John is
Jason.
working on his garage. He said he was going to start working on his garage this
Yeah, start
weekend.
doing. Yeah.
All right.
Ah,
I bet you he's in chat and just haven't said nothing yet.
probably. Same with Jason.
No. He said he was going to be working on his garage, and he's starting the refit of his garage this weekend.
Ah,
There's no way Jason could restrain himself not to enter the chat.
I've got a big
If
TV in
he's
my garage.
watching.
If I was working on, I'd watch you guys. I can put you up on YouTube on my TV. I got a little Alexa out there plugged in.
Yeah, I'm going to look at the SpaceX, see what's happening.
yeah, this is much better start to this.
So Tim, for tomorrow, are you going to just, with my little thing, put a the option for a giveaway for that a voucher for Amazon?
Yeah, now is that worldwide?
Well, if you do it, if you just do a Amazon.com, then it can be a worldwide giveaway. Yeah.
That's right. Okay. Yep, absolutely. Much appreciated, by the way.
No, that was just more to because last year had been UK or Canada or US. I thought well, I'll do that, and you can list
Then
someone
it
else
can
can
be
grab it.
worldwide.
Yeah, exactly. They can get what they want on Amazon. Yeah, that's all. Because you can just get the
Everybody
$50 Amazon card.
Everybody watching, there will be a giveaway on my stream tomorrow.
But I may not be jumping in because I'll be at
Okay.
work tomorrow. But that's just the option.
Yeah.
Just give the option. Then. That was all.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, not a problem.
Okay.
A couple of things for us. When we
They've separated the trunk of the vessel, so they're
Okay.
getting ready for re-entry because they can't re-enter with the trunk.
I'm
Because they
not
need
seeing
the,
it
No.
on screen. It says
Get rid of all that rubbish. Yeah.
Are these guys coming from a space station or something?
no,
No, just
they've
an orbit.
just been
You
in
don't have a
orbit.
TV
They're
set?
private citizens. They've been in orbit for the last 3 days.
512
You don't know that,
512
Dixon?
kilometers. Yeah.
What's
It's
that?
Inspiration
You
4.
didn't know that?
No, I'm a busy dude.
The
So what
first
they're doing is-
ever
They went
Civilian
higher than the Hubble
astronauts.
telescope. They went higher than the space station. They're circling the Earth.
512.
How come I wasn't invited to
They're all
go?
private citizens.
I come on
Because-
here so I
because
can
for
relax
you,
and take
Tim,
a break. And
They
learn
didn't
how
really
to-
want you to come back. So.
They're getting ready to do a deorbit burn, the first deorbit burn. So they've actually approached this. They're actually approached. To drop. They've already come close to Earth.
They're going to
They
slow
had
down
to
to
drop
come
the
lower.
trunk because the trunk will come in and burn up in the atmosphere. And then the next stage is they'll actually, facing the direction they're traveling, fire the nose thrusters. That'll slow them down, and then they'll flip around to get ready to come in because they use the bottom of the vessel as a
So
let's
is
say, a
this
plate of
Musk
armor.
or who is this?
Sorry,
Is this Elon Musk or who is
Elon
this?
Musk.
it's
Elon Musk.
SpaceX. Yeah,
Yep. Okay. Got it.
Why don't him and Betos, combine their efforts?
Well, that's what we were talking on a different podcast. It's a little ridiculous for them guys to Bezos and them to be fighting. You got people on the planet that are starving and they're fighting over who's going to get in space
They're
first.
spending billions of dollars.
here's the best part. Did you see the meme that was sent out by Elon Musk?
They're
And
suing each other.
It was funny. It showed Earth, and then
Yeah.
you see the ISS orbit, and then you see Hubble's orbit, and then you see the Inspiration 4 orbit, and
And then
just
Bezos.
barely above the surface of the Earth, there's a little dot,
Bezos, yeah.
and that was
funny.
Jeff Bezos.
Wow. Yeah.
Didn't quite get there, yeah.
Yeah, but it was like this, but right above barely above the Earth, there was the little dot, and that was Jeff Bezos was.
Yeah.
Let me find it.
Subtle, he wasn't, yeah.
It's true though. He like
Yeah, it is. But that's it. And especially for this thing, 512 Ks, that's brilliant.
yeah, that's actually further than the space shuttle ever traveled.
Yeah, exactly.
To the moon, Alice is going to do
Someday
the whole thing soon.
Someday there's going to be a World War III or a meteor is going to hit this planet. Something's going to happen. So if we can learn to maybe go somewhere else eventually, the human race won't die off. And that's a great idea.
That's what he's aiming for.
Yeah,
Well,
everything.
We're going to get through the zombie apocalypse first.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're already there.
They're working on it. Yeah. Well, we're in the middle of the apocalypse. Yeah.
Well, if you look, there are a lot of zombies out there. They're
And don't forget the Germans are invading too again.
yeah. So, I'm ready. I got my pick for the zombies. I've been watching The Walking Dead, so.
I've got to work out what she's after. I just got a cup of tea. I'm doing well.
I'd make a comment about the zombies, but I don't want to get into politics.
Owned by Amazon. Your car is owned by Amazon.
They say that St. Patrick banished all the snakes from Ireland, but he left the politicians behind.
Yeah.
I was watching some YouTube videos where guys in Philadelphia or some city filming the homeless people just kind of driving around different neighborhoods, filming everybody. There's no talking. And a lot of the people, I'm not sure what they're on. Hey, Lightspeed, a lot of the people, in zombie movies, how sometimes you see people like this,
Yeah.
and they're not moving, or they're real close to the ground and they're not moving. People are everywhere like this. So I don't know what kind of a drug they're on. They look like they're sleeping upright, but they're like this, and they're not moving.
Yep.
It's crazy. It's just like in a zombie movie.
Yeah, we have called the drug in the neighboring city. It's called.
Sean, that's a great movie.
Paper monkey dust.
Hey,
And it
Jerry,
tastes like
one
zombies.
just one thing. That's 200% scaled. So just remember before you kick it off, that's 200% scaled on this one. This model is quite a small model at 100%.
Yeah, I'm doing 200%. It'll fit on the focus.
Yeah,
That's what I'm doing now.
just as a heads up.
And I was hoping it would have been bigger than what you just held up, but I guess
No, because I did his I forgot to check the dimensions, and his latest vase is this one here called the jewel vase,
that's a genie bottle
and that's
for the
100%. I forgot to scale it up, so that's just on the side.
Wow!
So-
Thank you very much for the super chat. That's awesome.
Well done, Lightspeed.
Thank you. Thank you. Very cool. Thank you.
Oh, great. We have a.
Chinese spammer.
I just blocked it. Got to find it in chat and kick it wherever. Unless somebody else grabbed it. I blocked it on StreamYard.
Yeah, that's killed him out.
There it goes.
I'm trying to find that picture.
Yeah, thank you, all my mods. But yeah, I seen that pop up right when I was clicking on Lightspeed's link. Thank you very much, Lightpod. That's awesome. Appreciate it.
Oh, that's right, Leon. When we were talking about Idea Maker, another thing I really like about it, if you take your shell and you put it at 3.3 or you put a decimal in it with a number, the outer side will weave back and forth and make it twice as strong. In
Yeah,
Idea
there's a
Maker.
lot of features it has.
Yeah. Just instead of just a even number.
That's at 25 millimeters per minute, Tim?
That's see. I don't really have good slicer settings for this. So what I did is I went into Prusa and just guessed, and they had it at 60 as a default, and I'm running it at 50%. So we're looking at about 30 millimeters.
30, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that looks like that snap maker machine?
No, this is the Atom Stack. Atom Stack Cambrian.
Okay.
Here we go again, Dum Dum. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it.
Nice.
I like
Very
the stamped profile on the side, but not the one on the front. I like the stamp.
Yeah.
That's a nice pattern on the side, but the front pattern is ugly.
Yeah, front pattern's just whatever. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I'm trying to do more than once a week since I'm paying for Pro. I'm trying to stream, randomly at different times. Like last Monday, Jim wasn't on, so I came on Monday also. So I'm just trying to do more on Facebook and YouTube, even though most of my viewership is on YouTube. You change the camera back.
You know, when you want to find an image, you can't find it anywhere.
No.
Obviously, you must have your filter turned on for your all images then. The same. Turn your filters off there, Liam.
I don't have any filters on.
And Dix is laughing. Oh, that's what the problem was last time. Yeah, Dix remembers the problem last time.
Dixon, here's a view if you haven't seen it. That's where they're looking out the bubble right here. Well, they just cut away.
Yeah. That's them getting ready for
That is
their...
one hell of a window. End of story. That is one hell of a window.
Boy, if you don't look at them pictures and they look like them sci-fi movies I would watch years ago. I mean, it's identical to some of the stuff.
Well,
I think they're doing that on purpose.
Even if you look at Starship, it's like the old movie, some of the old movies of spaceships, right?
Yeah. But the dashboard panel layout and that window is just amazing.
Yeah.
They're just showing, letting you see all that. Letting you see all that stuff's great.
I use Simplified 3D the most, but I do have just about everything else installed. But because I've used it for so damn many years, and as you get older, you get stuck in your ways, I don't experiment that often.
I use Cura. I did try Prusa, but Cura it was just a little simpler to navigate. Prusa, you get lost down the settings too far. But I just use Cura.
I took a profile from I'm talking 15.3, that Cura, the old stuff, because I never changed because I was getting such good results. So I took a profile and I jumped over to Idea Maker and I got it running perfect. And I threw that profile on all my machines. I just had to change the bed size and it just worked awesome. Yeah,
well, that's the good thing. You can just modify the profile. The profile is still just purely printer settings. So
yeah, I grabbed the profile from them. That's when they didn't have all these. They got all the profiles online now for some of most of the printers. But I grabbed one of theirs and I modified it for the CR10.
There's that.
I got perfect parts. So
that's a view. That's a view you pay good money for, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
See, it's not flat,
oh, that's a Liam. That's a fakey view. The planet's flat, isn't it?
Just like your jokes.
Come on, guys. Late night.
That's how I test people. That's how I find out how wise they are. I didn't. It took you a while, but you came back with a good one.
Well, I had to stop laughing before I answered you. So
I counted how many milliseconds that took. And I know how fast your brain's running versus mine.
I don't think the slicer really matters, Dum Dum. It's just whatever's comfortable to use for you to get it to work, regardless. I think.
Yeah, it's only proportional. The only thing with a slicer that's different is proportional to your age.
I don't know. I use all the new ones.
I'm not gonna the learning curve. I'm not gonna
That's
learn
it. It's the learning curve.
Fusion
Which is-
360.
which is-
I'm not gonna. Yeah, that's proportional to your age. The
I'm
learning
doing.
curve.
I can do Tinkercad, and I've
Wow.
tinkered with Fusion 360, but I want to get into it a lot more. But it's just
Yeah.
learning curve
Wow.
of Fusion is just
Thank
so.
you,
still-
Viking. Thank you very much.
I still have a
Appreciate it.
copy of the 123D when I got to do real sophisticated parts, but you wouldn't believe some of the sophisticated clutches and things I designed on Tinkercad.
That's it. That what people have designed in Tinkercad is mind blowing. What
Yeah.
they have to do, and it's
Well,
I,
you look at
I
it,
could
what
show
they
you
can
some
do.
of my files, and you'd be amazed. Just
The
all
it's
one
as
thing-
powerful
the one
as
issue with Tinkercad-
as Fusion 360, as long as you know what to do with it.
yeah,
It's
the one
amazing.
issue with Tinkercad is it can when you create like a spherical shape, there's a limit to how many faces, and there's a way around it.
Yeah, I know
I
you're
actually
gonna
did a
say.
video on how to get around it. So basically, you know how many faces are in there. You basically copy the part and divide it and shift it half that space, and merge them, and then copy the part and shift it a quarter of the space and merge them, and repeat this, and eventually you get a smooth curve, right? Because
Okay, so you're just redoing the faces multiple
yeah,
times.
well,
Yeah,
you're,
for sure,
you're you're taking what was 64 faces and you're adding a lot more.
One to
So
doubling
now
it, doubling it,
the
doubling it.
straight
Yeah.
lines are minimized,
Yeah.
so you get a curve.
Cheers.
Oh wow, you're raking it in today. Good, it will help you out on your
So
channel.
it's kind of cool.
Hey,
But,
Quiet
um,
One, how you doing?
You can do a lot with Tinkercad if you know how to play with it.
Yeah, I've seen some of the stuff, and it's amazing
wow.
what you can do with it.
We got another one
Yeah,
coming
that's what
in.
I said.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tim. Awesome.
Yeah. I got to run. I can't take the abuse anymore. No, we're going to a pumpkin thing tonight with Ethan. So
Wow.
Okay, well, I may jump in the chat tomorrow, Tim. That's about it.
okay, no worries. We'll catch everybody
Yep.
tomorrow 6 p.m. on my stream.
Wait a
No
minute.
worries,
Tim.
Tim. See you
Be
tomorrow.
there.
Have a good one.
Bye. Take care, guys.
Thank you very much. We'll be there.
You bet.
Back
Bye.
1 second.
Bye. Very cool. Don't talk all at once now.
No, just watching the SpaceX video
I
at the
know.
same time. I'm watching SpaceX as well.
I'm looking for a design, and I gotta watch
Oh,
out when you
Justin, how
tap
you
the
doing?
stuff on your phone. In Tinkercad, you can change crap. So I'm looking for that clutch thing I designed years ago, a while back.
Lightspeed, you want to drop in? There's a link. You want to come and chit chat about what you got going on?
almost light speed, almost $3 in real money. Yeah.
I'm just checking my prints, making sure everything's going okay. Especially the one I started on the NR5 Plus.
And I'm wearing this T-shirt just for you, Lightspeed, just to make sure there's no mistake, right?
What t-shirt's that? Oh, okay, New Zealand.
Yeah, just for Lightspeed. Save the abuse.
Hey, Dennis, how you doing? Yeah, everybody's
Yeah,
watching
Australian,
SpaceX.
everybody
Yeah, I've got that
knows
on the other screen, Justin.
Yeah, we're
Like,
watching.
that's like-
Justin, we're
That's why we
watching.
keep going
SpaceX.
quiet. We keep looking at the SpaceX feed. Yeah, Jason must be doing something busy because he should be in there for the abuse. Yeah,
Here you go, Liam.
Yeah, I'm watching it here.
yeah, we're all doing the same thing. We're all doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know. He might be working today. I don't know.
You guys can hear me all right? Or is
He's
I'm
not mad at me.
silent?
It's my fault. It's not my fault this time.
The cool thing about this is it's totally autonomous. So the guys don't have to do anything. The machine, it's done for them.
Hello.
Now they can take over control. They can override it. They have an abort button and an override. They can take over control, but why would they?
If anybody like to pop in, here's a link.
Dum, don't switch I wouldn't recommend you switch to S3D. The reason, and a lot of people are going to jump on me for this. The reason why I would say that is they haven't done updates since 2018.
Yeah, I bought it years ago for $150, but if you were looking at maybe buying it, I wouldn't. There's too many other free ones out there.
They've done nothing to it. Yeah,
The only
and they're
reason
still
I
charged
still
the
use
same.
it is because I paid for it a long time ago and I know it really well. But if I was just getting into 3D printing, there's too many other great programs out there. I wouldn't even use it unless I had to.
So it's been so long since I've done an update. I wouldn't, because they were supposed to come up with a newer version years ago, and they never did.
Can you hear me all right?
Yep,
No,
yep, we
can't
can
hear
hear
you
you.
at all.
Yep, we can hear you.
Oh, before, I don't know, I was trying to talk and then nobody hit me, it
What's
seems
that, old
like.
curmudgeon?
Bite me, Lightspeed.
No, we didn't hear you talking, Matt. I put you full screen. I go, you're being quiet, and then
I know something was wrong with
Lightspeed
my
is translating.
microphone.
okay.
So hopefully now it's coming from that microphone.
Well, how you doing? How's it going?
Well, I'm doing okay. A little
You
bit
having a good
tired
day?
now.
All right.
Yeah, had a cold couple days ago and
Oh, my mistake.
didn't feel so well after that.
I got about an hour's sleep all night last night. I couldn't sleep. I was up in the middle of the night typing on Facebook, messaging and reading emails, and went back to bed and got back up. So I might have just slept 2 hours.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
I had a monster at 5 o'clock last night, so that's probably what caused it. But I went to bed at midnight, so it should have burned out of my system.
If I did that, I'd be up for 3 days straight.
Yeah.
He never sleeps. Yeah, before I had my surgery, I'd be up till 4 o'clock in the morning on my computer working on something, and then sleep for 4 or 5 hours to get back up. And now I tend to go to bed earlier. Well, sometimes.
You sleep when you're dead.
I drank a Mountain Dew one time about 5, 6 o'clock, and I was done. I had to get up at work at 6, and I was awake until like 5 in the morning.
Yeah, well, working construction, everybody drank a lot of Mountain Dew.
I can't drink soda anymore.
Get some energy.
Messes me up.
Damn.
And coffee, I drink decaf now, but I used to drink a pot a day or more caffeinated my whole life. It done nothing for me, but energy drinks do. Here we go. We got a man popping in right now. Hey, Red Light, how you doing?
Hey, up. How's it going, man?
Pretty good.
Hey.
Hey, Jerry, remember how I told you there's 2 different boards on that resin printer?
Yeah.
The one they sent me will work. It's just a different model number, but it all will still work. So
Okay.
that's a good thing, because I sent them an email and sent them a picture and told them they sent me the wrong one. They told me no, and they sent me a video, and everything's going to work out whenever I find time to do it.
Okay. Well, you're working. Well, you could do it right now if you wanted to. You're not on the clock. You're just working from home.
I know, but I'm behind. I've got a lot of catching up to do. And I got like 4 more new camera jobs coming up this week we got to do.
Uh-huh.
Besides working 60 plus hours a week at my other job.
Wow. How old are you?
How old am I? I'll be 50 next year.
Okay.
I'm still young.
Youngster. You're a youngster. Yeah, definitely a youngster on this channel, logging into the stream.
But I guarantee I do a lot more work than a lot of these younger people do.
Yeah, I worked hard up until the day I retired, and I haven't done much since. And my body, I'm paying for it now.
I try to stay busy. That way I don't get old and fall apart.
Yeah.
That's the risk. That's why I'm still working. If I stop, I might fall to pieces.
Nary's boy, he'd be all excited if he knew Astro had that Ender 2. He was talking about that, I think, last week on the stream.
Okay, they're buttoning up the nose cone now.
I'm still on the same channel I was on. I just see Mission Control and the 2 people talking. Oh, no.
Yeah, they did.
You read it.
Yeah, I'm on the SpaceX channel. Yeah.
Well, they're starting to close the nose cone now.
Yeah.
So there's no more view for the outside.
No.
And they've just completed the first of the orbit
First burn. Yeah, the first burn. Yeah. No, that's the old. Yeah, Tim's gone. Yeah, Tim went. Yep.
Yeah, he had stuff to do.
Yep.
He says, does D.
Hey,
Wick
DB
know-
Dan.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Like to drop in, you're welcome to.
What's going on, Dan?
It is a very, technically and structurally sound seal that needs to happen there. So it needs
No, it's just the messages that get popped up, Curmudgeon. There's a bit of a when they get popped up. They're not in sequence sometimes when they get posted. That's all.
Oh, you mean me clicking on them?
Yep. That was all.
Sometimes I go back up to where I think they were, and then I try to go straight down.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't mark what one was already shown. There's no way for it to do that. It doesn't have that ability. So sometimes you get them mixed up.
Yeah.
Trying to see where's the comment where he even said that at.
No, he's not. Yeah, I think he did it late though. He did post it later than when Tim left. So.
Oh, okay. All right. I was wondering why that. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. All right.
Yeah.
He might have paused the video or bumped something.
Yeah, he wanted to take off live and picking. Yeah.
Who was it? Tim or Liam? Somebody was going to go live a long time ago, and they, oh yeah, it was Liam. He was going to go live. He said, "Wait a minute, I got to fix my camera." Well, I muted it or something, and I didn't realize I hit the pause button. So I sat here for a half hour, really
watching a blank screen,
waiting for him to come on. I'm leaving comments in the chat, and he still ain't back to the camera. And I realized that people are probably thinking, "Why does Jerry keep typing this crap?" But anyway, I had to pause. And by the time I popped in, he had the printer built, and it's like 40 minutes.
What did I miss?
That was for the CR10.
It was one of them, yeah.
That was a CR10 Smart that happened on, yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking, okay, come on back on. Where you at? I even hit him up on Facebook saying, "Where you at? We're waiting." So,
oops.
It was all me.
Yeah.
Well, from what I can see, it looks like a cute little printer. It's priced right if you want to do small things.
Yeah.
What's that?
Or you can pay a lot more money and get a Prusa Mini. I don't know.
Yeah. But it's not as much fun. I mean, you want to just pick it up and for that sort of money, pick it up, plug it in, and hope for the best.
They work.
Yeah. Well, sure.
It works really well.
If Jerry paid for the pre-assembled Mini, it would have worked as well.
Yeah, not 2 days later.
But we enjoyed it. We enjoyed the savings. Yeah, we're all on the stream, but we're all watching SpaceX.
So, yeah, I'm dropping and looking between the screen here.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, we're all doing the same thing.
Yeah, I'm just seeing mission control right now. You guys
it's just interesting watching the procedure and the step by step before they drop it out.
Yeah,
just quite cool.
Well, they have yet to confirm the nose cone is closed. It takes time.
Yep.
And then they've already done a deorbit burn to slow themselves down.
Yeah.
And they were in a big elliptical orbit, so they went out
a long way. Yeah.
They went out over 500 miles or 500 kilometers out.
512. Was it 512 the max or 525? I can't remember.
No, it's higher than that again. They went out to 559 or something.
Okay.
At one point.
Yeah, I wrote his name down. Last Saturday was Gene Gamble was his name. He gave me $125 via PayPal, and I applied that towards a couple months of StreamYard Pro. And then Steve L gave me a super chat of $25 last week.
And your image is nice and sharp, definitely coming through nice on the multi-screen there.
And I've got OBS in the background, so.
Yeah. But you did drop your frame rate as well, which was that problem.
Down to 30, yeah. And that,
it seems to make a massive difference.
Problem.
Yeah. There is no space travel done. It's all fake. It's all fake video.
Yeah, just like 3D printers are.
Yep. No such thing, yeah.
The nightly news last night showed a 3D printer that prints. It's got a big giant arm and it prints aluminum. And it's printing spaceships.
Yeah, the spiral.
Yeah, well, SpaceX already does 3D print some of the metal parts for their engines.
Yeah.
They do it today. And I know some companies who 3D print parts for their big observatory quality.
Wouldn't most of that be titanium?
Sorry?
Wouldn't most of that be titanium?
It depends on what it's exposed
Some
to,
is.
what temperatures it reaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, GE do want to do 3D metal printing for some of their turbine components and everything else industrially. For the
Yeah,
commercial
they're
stuff.
coming down. You can buy a unit for 15, 20 grand. You know, they're coming down, but
Well,
It's-
it's laser sintering is what they're doing.
Yeah,
it's a big process because then you got to take the unit out and get rid of all the powder and bake
Yeah,
it for a
you
while.
knock the powder out of it, but it's basically a layer of powder. A laser comes out and melts it. Another
Yep.
layer is put on. A laser comes out and melts it. That's how it works.
Yep.
It's still the same mechanical process like all the other stuff is, or the resin printing exactly
Yeah,
the same
but
way.
the difference is when it's done, you got
It's
a
done.
functional finished part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you cast it, you have cleanup to do.
Yeah.
If you machine it, it takes a lot longer to get there. If you roll it, you can have inconsistencies.
Yeah.
This eliminates all of that.
Well, we're dying to see your casting for the first time, Liam. That should be interesting.
Yeah, it will. I'm still waiting on the Crucible. I've asked them; they haven't sent it to me yet.
Those printed parts have to be cleaned up. They're not showing you that part. It's just not as
They
extensive.
they sandblast it off to clean it off.
Right. It's not
But
as
it's not
extensive.
as much though. Yeah.
There's no such thing as not cleaning apart when it comes to laser, milling, lathe work.
There's
3D
always
printing.
post-processing to some
Well,
extent.
by cleaning, I mean they don't have extra material they have to clean off.
Right.
They
Grind
just have
off.
to blow away the remnants of the source material that they were centering in the first place, and then they clean it. Then they basically blow all that and knock all that away, and that's it.
Hey Jerry, what's the is just soap and water good if you get resin on the outside of your machine? Is that good to clean with, or should I use alcohol?
IPA.
IPA, okay.
It might clean it.
Well, when
I
I
know
was
if you get on the plastic cover, I don't know what to suggest to get fingerprints and stuff off that.
well, they sent me a new cover, but I'm not going to use it until the one gets really bad.
Yeah.
But, when I was tearing it apart, I noticed where that silver plate is in the front, right in front of the LCD screen. There's like resin down in there, so I want to clean it all up before I actually put it back together.
My original Elgu Mars, my screen started to go out, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I'd go to touch a button, and it wouldn't work, so I'd have to take my hand like a half inch, either above or below, to get that button to work. They sent me a replacement out of warranty free, and what it wound up being when I took it all apart, somehow resin got down in there. And I'm not messy with my resin, so how it got down and around the screen, I don't know. Other than sometimes when the vac comes down, or most of the time, it kind of pops. It'll be like an air bubble, or it pops because the plate goes down the resin. So there might be little tiny microscopic particles of resin popping around, and that somehow built up over time.
Yeah, I don't know how it got down there neither, but when I was tearing it apart, I seen that though. I'm gonna clean it up real good before I actually put it back together.
Yeah.
I'll probably do that tonight when I go in the house.
Yeah, I love my Anacubic. I use that more than I use my Frozen.
Leave that up, Jerry, for a second. If you already have the part, you can get it cast. If you have the part already made and like it's already existing, you can get anybody who can do metal casting to actually cast the part for you.
They can use that for the mold.
If you have a nylon part, or if you have a ABS or whatever, or if you 3D printed it in plastic and you want it made in aluminum, bring that 3D printed part with a nice clean, smooth outer edges,
to the
clean
foundry.
it all up. They will then take that and they can actually metal cast it for you. You just tell them you want it made out of aluminum, and they can cast it out of it. They can do a sand cast and pour it for you.
What state you live in, Old Curmudgeon? Ike probably knows exactly where to go.
I can probably do it for him because I got an electric furnace and I got plenty of aluminum right here I can melt down.
So he can do them for you. So yeah, anyone who can do a furnace, who can actually melt material. All you have to do is make up some green sand, which is 20% clay and then clay sand, really fine, and then you dampen that to make it so it sticks together, and then you make the box a sand box top and bottom.
Tennessee.
Yeah. I've got sand because I do cast mold sands of different figurines for copper and silver that I do.
Yeah,
so I could do that. I've already got sand.
As long as the model is intact or glued together to give it the shape, then you can do a casting out of it. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. If it was glued back together, even if it was damaged, glue back. But you have to make sure.
I think. I'll imagine it's a. Is that your throttle controller for your lawnmower? Your ride-on mower? That's the throttle controller. The lever keeps breaking. Yeah, it keeps breaking off. You're saying. I think it was Curmudgeon was saying that. which is doable. If he's got the part itself, the actual part, getting that car shouldn't be a problem. Yeah.
You'd be better off 3D printing it and then cover it with epoxy. It'd be harder than rock.
Yeah, he just having trouble modeling it in 3D modeling. That's the trouble. So if he's got the part,
Yeah, but
he's
you
got the
can
part. Yeah.
you can send the part. If it's damaged, you can glue it back together so it's back to where it was. Get it to Redlight. He'll sandcast it for you and pour it in aluminum.
Yeah,
Or you go on Amazon and buy it for $3.
If you can
But they
find
keep
it out there,
breaking
yeah.
on him. So,
Or
yeah.
you go on Amazon and get it for $3.
Well, I was
Yeah, that's
thinking
the
about
thing.
like for
Keeps breaking on 'em.
aluminum, I can just turn around and then you can get soda cans and melt them down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just
I had a lady
frustrating
come
for
up to
him
me.
buy it, break it, buy it, break it, buy it, break it, which is frustrating for him.
I had a lady come up to me. She says, "Hey, I got a different design snap for a buckle like them plastic snaps." And she says, "Oh," I said, "Yeah, I could can that up, but I'm telling you what, I could go to Amazon and buy 5 of them for $1." I says, "Why don't you try that out?" And she looked, and sure enough,
Yeah.
you save all that time and money, all that
Every time anything breaks here in Las Vegas, every time it's because it was plastic. No matter what it is, something fails around the house, outside, it was plastic.
Yeah, they're designing too much stuff that can't handle. They're designing it wrong. It's just can't handle certain knobs and all that. They just snap right off, and it's like, why would they even put that on there?
Weather, all is good. So whatever you would want to hear for Splashdown, we got it. So things are looking great.
20 minutes from splashdown, so it ain't long to get the ground.
So super exciting and things.
Everything can be designed in some software if you have the right software. Anything can be designed. Everything was designed that way.
Yep. All them robotic parts I was showing that was done in Tinkercad is I just did it in there because I could do it twice as fast.
I'd rather pay $12 every couple of years than trying to have something cast and go through the whole expensive process and everything.
Is received by mission control or recovery team. And no external
Okay.
no external commanding of the vehicle.
Old Curmudgeon, I think you're in your late 40s, right? You only need to buy these for another so many years.
What's that?
So we'll be heading into comms blackout soon.
Yeah, I'm still seeing people talking to mission control on SpaceX channel.
All right, guys. I say good night. I see you on Wednesday, all hopefully.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining in. I really appreciate it. Have a good
you.
night. Get lots of rest.
You
Hope you
too.
feel better.
Yeah.
Have a good one, Matt.
Thanks.
That's basically telling
Bye.
us that the Dragon capsule is getting closer and closer to Earth. Again, they went all the way out.
I can hear your audio coming in the background. Is that you, Yim? The audio from
Yeah,
your...
that's mine.
Yeah, I can help you. I'm in the same thing on mine live. About a second behind.
Back home, so they're approximately 200 kilometers at this moment.
So yeah, 200k out as where they are, so they're on their approach.
We are bringing the crew back home. We've begun
Get down to 500 odd kilometers and let Ed do the rest.
Yeah, they'll be back in about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
My current mower doesn't have a throttle control. It's just got one of those safety off handles. You hold it.
Well, where you live, they already landed and went home, right?
Sorry, what's the question? Didn't the shuttle have a satellite above it at one time that could keep comms during?
No, they still had that black window.
No, you always get a blackout because when you're entering the
Ionization.
atmosphere, the plasma that is created with the as it comes through such speed through the atmosphere, it compresses the air in front of it, and the air becomes basically plasma. It comes from the gas to plasma, and that plasma interferes with signals. So there's always a 3 to 4 minute, around 3.5 minutes, but up to 4. I think the
Just can't
longest was
penetrate,
4.5 minutes of a blackout where you cannot communicate with them.
I'm sure somebody has something on this as it comes back in if it's not cloudy watching it.
Oh, they have cameras watching it in re-entry. They have AWAC aircraft out there watching for it and everything.
Following it, tracking it and everything. Yeah. But it'd be cool to see it from the space view above it. You see a nice trail as it bounces across the atmosphere. It'd be an awesome thing to see from out externally, looking down on it as it cuts across the atmosphere.
No, they've never been able to communicate on the way in. They've never had that ability. I don't think that's ever changed.
No.
Even now, today, SpaceX will have a comms blackout on the way in. That's normal practice.
Then they all sit there on the edge of the seat waiting to hear back from them, or
Yep.
see something on video.
Well,
and then
that is it. That's the big thing.
Fourth state of matter, plasma.
So yeah, but so it's a waiting game, the re-entry.
Yep. Balls of steel time.
So they've been just told to get prepared, to get everything packed away because just to make sure they're strapped in.
Well, it must have been on Fox News, and I used to like Fox News, but anyway.
Yeah.
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 Now, I've
Bit of
never
doubt.
heard that. I've never heard that rumor. I know they've always had a blackout because of the plasma. Okay, they're ready.
4 minutes. 4 minutes to blackout.
4 minutes, 30 seconds, telecom blackout. Once you get on the other side,
Pop it up on screen, Gary.
He doesn't have to. We're all watching it.
Yeah, exactly.
Get through it, Will, yeah.
Yeah, we're all watching it. Yeah.
We're all seeing it anyway.
Yeah. You have different ads to me. Same screen, different ads.
Yeah, but yours are all porn sites, Kieran.
Allegedly. You can't see my screen. Allegedly. Rumor
Yeah.
has it.
For some stupid
You
reason,
haven't denied it, so it's true.
Yeah, well, I said allegedly.
YouTube's going to nail me on this for some dumb reason, and I don't know why. It's like the kangaroo that Tim showed, where the guy was punching the kangaroo. I got a copyright strike on that. I got demonetized on that live stream.
Well, everyone's showing the same feed. So NASA, SpaceX, they're all showing the same feed.
But I
So
don't
Yeah,
think-
they're showing the
I don't
SpaceX
think-
feed. Is what
yeah,
they're
I
showing.
don't think
Yeah.
being demonetized affects super chats, because if it does, then I have to stop sharing this.
So
I think it will. I don't think you can. You're rebroadcasting.
yeah,
And
so,
then if I
Dum, each person has at least 2 screens at each station, and they're the widescreen wraparound.
because
And
if
you'll
I
have multiple windows open on that.
I'm
watching
getting
different things.
donations, YouTube might think, well, you got donations, you were showing it, so we'll keep that too. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know if I've showed anything too long, but I'll find out later.
I think you'll be okay.
I'll get an email. I'm not going to re-show it just in case.
And always does a fundraiser or charity event with every one of his air shows, and he's doing the same thing with this mission, which is pretty incredible.
We're getting there.
She's
Yep.
20 years old, and she's actually the youngest American to fly in space ever. She's also the first.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Hey, Mike.
How you been?
Oh, I loved your show with Joel.
That was great. Yeah, doing great.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy that actually worked.
That's amazing, actually. That's great. Yeah.
I got to go watch it. I didn't see it then.
Oh, the magic back is great.
So what do you got going on? What have you been working on? Anything?
Well, I've been trying to figure out something for the same thing, but works with PLA. So,
Okay.
Oh, by the way, Dr. Zion, the African American woman, she's actually an ambassador with NASA, like I am.
Okay.
She does outreach for NASA, so she's an ambassador like I am.
So how come
Okay.
she got to go up and you didn't?
Because she's got the 2 letters DR ahead of her, and
That makes a difference slightly.
there's a little bit of a difference. Yeah, and she works
Too
in
many
she works in
wrinkles. That's one
sciences.
problem. He's too old.
I'm
Well,
not
she
too
was.
old.
She's 50. She was 50.
She is, yeah.
Yeah. So age isn't a barrier.
They went in to do his physical, and they took one look and like, nope, you ain't doing that.
Yeah. But I think you could have used a smaller emoji. It would have made no difference, Jerry. You could have used one half the size. It still would have
Well,
worked.
it's me, not Jerry. If it was Jerry, it'd be a smaller one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have used an emoji with one eye.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Let's see, let me find the picture. I got a picture here.
I think Jerry missed that one.
I was talking
Methods, he's supposed to ignore
Liam. I was
it.
talking Liam.
Oh, Liam, fair enough.
Where'd that picture go?
See, this is what we need. Right now, they have 197, almost 198,000 people watching. We need that on 3D printing channels.
That'd be nice.
What's
Get a hack
live?
into that. Who's the code guy? We gotta have Mike hack into that and it switched subscribers to us, to Jerry.
Well, look, I think that if somebody was trying to fling a 3D printer into space, they would get some eyeballs on it.
Well, I've done it before.
All right.
They got 3 up in the space station.
Here's a picture of me with my shirt off, okay?
Oh no! Whoa!
Oh,
Whoa!
no. Oh, no. That bastard.
That's when you were younger.
Yeah. They're better looking.
Okay, blackout. Because mission control couldn't understand me. That's funny, Lightspeed, coming from you.
Right. So obviously it's getting close into the stream because the abuse is getting worse.
If I get demonetized on this video, I will allow YouTube to edit the video and it'll black out the parts that it'll just delete it.
Well, because I would just cut out the part.
It has automatic clipping abilities now?
Every time, well, let's see. We had a kangaroo on a couple weeks ago in Australia. Tim showed it TH3D. The guy got mad at the kangaroo. The kangaroo grabbed the guy's dog and was going to kill it. So the guy walked up to the kangaroo and slugged it in the face. I got demonetized for that being on there.
I couldn't believe the kangaroo didn't pop him back, boy. Usually they get crazy with their
No, he got stunned though. You know,
Yeah.
when you fight back, he gets stunned.
What do you mean?
Yeah, he did because he sat there just like a human and sat there and stared at him like a deer head, like a
Crazy.
kangaroo in lights.
Yeah. The kangaroo's upper arms are not the problem. It's the legs.
It's the
they
legs.
use their
Oh, no.
tails, and they kick you with their
Do
legs.
I
That's
need
the
to
worst
show a
part.
baby
got-
picture of my
They've got
wife?
toenails like that and they can gut you. Literally gut you. That's how they kill the dog.
She
They'll
says,
stomp
no,
on
that's
the
how
dog.
he looks now. Okay, you want me to show a baby picture of you, Betty Boo?
Oh no, you're cruel. You're cruel, Jerry.
You better watch out.
Better lock the door. Better lock the door.
It wouldn't be. Well, no, it wouldn't be a Jerry's live stream if he didn't get slapped upside the head at least once.
Yeah.
No,
Instead a big shoe comes flying in.
it keeps them awake.
No,
It
she
keeps
said
them awake.
earlier how nice I was being today, so I won't show it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Everybody looks out their eyeballs. I look out the eyeballs and I think I'm 30 until I look in the mirror and all of a sudden, whoa. Yeah, you jump.
Okay, blackout has started. So
It's
there's a
jarring
3-minute
for
area
everyone.
where we don't know. We won't have comms.
When you made a comment about eyeballs. Was it something like this?
Wow!
So it's 4.5 minutes of blackout.
Yeah. Yeah, my animals are my kids.
Why now? What about this son?
Every time I see red light, it reminds me of Mad Max, or for some reason, like, or the sci-fi shows where the guy's in the basement keeping the electricity running for the little town or whatever. Sci-fi movie.
Yeah, where's the pigs?
The guy, that guy had 4 when the kid's in the basement. I know which house is working. The lights on. The only one with the lights on, the blackout out there in the basement.
My wife always tells everybody it looks like NASA out here.
Voice communication, that is not possible at this time.
And I bet he can find anything you asked for straight away because he knows exactly where he puts the stuff.
Yeah, you know where he puts it? He gets it and goes,
Yeah.
where is it?
Organized,
Over there.
Filing
somewhere.
system. Filing system. Yeah.
organized
Everything's filed.
chaos.
Hey, 3D print newbie, how you doing, Mylan?
I
Hey,
just
Milan.
until the tile reaches the ceiling, then I start
Orbital velocity
separating.
from 17,500 miles per hour, and
Terminal velocity. That's the baud speed, right?
I think that Mad Max was in 2021, wasn't it? Supposed to be.
we even deploy.
I'm not too sure the original, what the time of the original. Let me have a quick look.
Communications again. We are expecting to deploy the sets of parachutes. We have 2 sets. The first, again, are drogue chutes. They are.
I remember seeing a documentary a guy did on YouTube like a year ago where he went around to all the places where Mad Max was filmed and he showed all the exact different sites, this and that.
Around 18,000 feet. Shortly after that, we'll deploy our main parachutes. There's 4 of them. Those are larger, circular.
Yeah, they'll demonetize all of our talking because you're playing audio in the background. I can hear it.
120.
Oh, do you want me to mute it?
I would. because everybody can watch it individually.
Yeah, but I can't hear it if I turn my audio down.
Okay, well, okay.
Here, do I have? I don't know if I have headphones.
Just leave it lower. Just don't have it up so loud. I mean, I probably already got nailed. I'm sure I already had it on there long enough that I already got nailed.
Yeah, possibly, but it's not music, so they might not really care as much.
Well, I know, but the kangaroo was on. I think it was muted during the kangaroo, but I'm not sure. But
You didn't have it on that long either. I mean, it was only a little.
Well, that was probably violence that they took that down for, or they demonetized it for. This would be something else.
Whenever I do a video and I show a clip of anything, I keep it under 10 seconds. I never get bothered. As long as
they would have left it. They would have left it on if the kangaroo would have ate the dog. Then they would have left it on.
Wow.
Cruelty to animals that have pulled it on that.
1987. Okay.
That's the roughly around that. That's the theoretical because it was formed in 1978 or something.
Holy crap! 80s. That's
the set. That's the set. That's the set setting for it because it was done in 1978 or something. So it's like this in the near future. So it's close to around that, like 10 years past the movie date, which around 1978 I think was released.
That's the movie that made Mel Gibson popular, isn't it?
Yep.
Famous.
Yeah.
The first one or the second one?
He was he played someone who was
Road Warrior was better than Mad Max. Mad Max was the original Road Warrior.
The original came out in 1979.
Yeah, but way before that, he was in a movie where he played
Here we go.
an autistic kid.
Is that it?
Okay, they're out. They're out.
They're through. They're through the blackout. They're visible.
Well, we can see them.
Oh yeah. Yep. Was Road Warrior
That's
after?
them re-entering now. There's
the original was Mad Max Road Warrior was the original movie.
That's where he was what, like a cop or something, and it was just
a cop.
something.
Yeah, Mad Max was the first one. Road Warrior was the second one.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And then I think Thunderdome was the third one. With Tina Turner and Thunderdome.
Yeah, the first one's always the best.
And then they had the remake, and the man only said one word in the whole damn movie. I forget the actor's name.
I don't know. The old ones are always better than these new try to reboot things.
Yeah, the original ones.
So the new Star Wars was not bad as a reboot movies. They were quite good.
They didn't reboot it though. They just did the same storyline.
Time flies.
Let's make a giant spherical weapon and deploy it at somebody else and have space Nazis. That's like that entire genre right there. There is absolutely nothing new or creative about it.
Yeah. Well, look at Star Trek. Look at the originals. Look at when that was made. The thought processes. It was pretty good because it was made so many years ago with their ideas.
Well, that's
the best one for that was Iron Sky. Have you seen Iron Sky? Space Nazis and dinosaurs. That is one screwed up movie.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, you want to laugh. Go look it up. Iron Sky and Iron Sky 2. They are hilarious for movies.
Is that the one with the moon or something? All sorts of weirdness?
The secret base on the moon. Yep. Yeah, that is insane.
Oh, they've got comms back.
Yeah, they got comms back. Yeah. They've re-established link. Yeah.
They're waiting for the chutes to open now. Drones are out. Drones are out.
Is it going to fire rockets or just have the chutes open and then that
It fires just before it hits the water.
Okay. Yeah, then Bezos came down in the desert, and that still looked like a pretty hard landing, even though they said it fired its rockets, and it wasn't. It still looked pretty hard.
Yeah, no, what they do is they fire the rockets at the very last moment.
There it goes.
Yep, cushion it.
But better the chute's better open, or there'll be a problem.
You see the video? The drogue chutes are out.
Yeah, once the drogues are out, then they will deploy the main chutes.
I don't see any on my image.
No, you need to go to the space, but there's another stream showing the drogue chute footage, which is quite cool.
Well, I don't have time to.
The SpaceX one hasn't got the drogue footage.
Oh, okay, now I see him.
There we
still
go.
there.
Yep.
Now I see him.
Yep.
Those are the first.
Yeah, the 2 drogues. Yep, 2 drogues
the
are
little
out.
ones.
Waiting for the main chutes next.
Oh, and it's got a camera view there. That's cool.
Here we go. The main chutes are just deployed.
Yeah, they'll take
There
a
we
while
go.
to open.
There we go. Just deployed the main chutes.
Well, it sounds like they're going to make it back in one piece.
I'm
Clean
still
deployment.
waiting.
Nice. There
My
we go.
camera hasn't showed. I'm still waiting for the main ones to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the SpaceX feed is delayed actually.
Yeah, it must be.
It is. Yeah, so the main chutes are already out on these space
Oh.
vids.
I'll tell you when I see them. Looks like we're what, a minute behind. Here they go. Now they went out.
Yeah,
just
the SpaceX feed's about a minute behind.
now. Okay.
There's the mains out now, yeah.
Yeah, that's delayed.
I don't see
About a
them
minute
open, but
behind
they're
the
out.
other stream.
Okay, now they're starting to open.
Yep.
So they got 4 full. They're not
Yeah,
fully
four
open yet,
shoots.
but they're closed.
No, they're all fully out.
That one says 3D HP on it. See that?
Yeah. Yeah, the video on SpaceX is about a minute delayed to the actual live stream, Liam. It's quite strange.
I wonder what that is in the middle, way above them. Air chopper, or what am I seeing in that left picture? Way above the chutes, I see 2 black dots.
That's probably the drones. The drones.
Yeah, they're still there. The drogues are still up. They don't detach.
Oh, watch the live feed inside the cabin as they come in, so you can see them bump. Oh, go back to that. They cut off that feed. We want to see them when it hits the water to see how they react to it.
Yeah, that's got to be a shocker.
Well, in case something goes wrong, they're probably not going to show it.
No, not inside.
Yeah, that would be
Now,
a
once
bad
the
thing to
chutes
see
open,
people
nothing's gonna go wrong.
slack.
No,
Yeah.
once the chutes are open, nothing's going to go wrong.
$400 meters off, getting close.
I don't know. That something could spring a leak. They could sink to the bottom of the ocean. There's all sorts of things.
Well,
that
let's
can
put
happen.
it this way: if it can survive in space without losing atmosphere, it's not going to spring a leak.
No.
Yeah, there'll be ships on top of that, and probably within minutes.
Within 10 minutes, they'll be out there. Yeah, they're already out there waiting for us.
They're probably
Yeah,
they're
just the
closing.
exclusion zone until it hits and they'll be moving into it now. They know where it's going to land. They'll be moving
Yeah,
into it now.
They're
Oh, they're
closing
there
in.
already.
Yeah, the
they're gonna
FRBs
be
are
within
moving in
a
on it.
mile of it when it touches the
Yeah.
water. 400 feet from the water.
400 meters.
Oh, meters. Sorry, forget they use
Yeah.
meters now.
Oops.
They use real distances.
Yeah, real measurements. Yeah,
Yeah.
and here they go.
Just about there.
Nice and gentle splashdown.
200 to go.
And this craft was used before. On
And
Crew Demo
impact.
1, it was
There we
used.
go. We're down. We're down.
Yep.
I got a minute to go, guys.
No. Yeah. And successful landing. Nice. Well done. The boats are in now. The boats
Now,
Yeah,
are
they're
Sure.
about a mile out.
If you're
They'll
betting at a
go- they have
sports
No, they're
boat,
speedboats.
close.
they have-
The boats are almost there now.
Well, they
I
have,
got quite a bit of
they have
delay.
huge engines on those
They
things.
got the FRBs. They're rushing in now.
Yeah, Dixon's probably watching mine, and it's going to
Yeah.
hit right now. Okay, now it just hit.
Yeah, there's
I
about a
got a
minute
big
delay
delay.
from the SpaceX feed. Yeah.
I got a big delay. They just took off here.
I think. Yeah.
He's 3 days behind.
Press the button that says live,
they're-
Dixon. It might
They're
help.
right there as a boat, so they'll be on.
Yeah,
that
he just
within-
landed in the water here. I got a delay on my big screen quite a bit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so the boats will be out there within 2 minutes.
Yeah, they got to purge. They got to purge the fumes first, and they're coming after they've done that purge.
Now, what
Cool.
is
Now the nose sticking up like that reminds me of Planet of the Apes, the original movie. Remember?
Kind of, yeah.
so? When is it that they're supposed to do the trip where they're launching people to go around the moon and then come back? that one's
They're
coming
not
up
going to
here
do
soon.
that. They're not going to use the Falcon 9 for that. That's not going to happen until.
No,
the
that's going to be
start
the
of
heavy. Yeah.
The next one. Yeah, the next big one, yeah.
They have a heavy coming up later this year, but the real one for actually bringing people around the moon is going to be Starship when it's ready.
Okay.
Maybe
And that's in
a year.
development right now in Boca Chica, Texas.
Yeah, well, they've
Or
been
a
launching
lab
and crushing
island.
those things like tin cans.
Yeah, if that gantry catches that booster, well, he's actually talking about using one of the Falcon 9s to bring it to Boca Chica to see if they can catch the Falcon 9 in that gantry. There's been talks about doing that ahead of Spaceship.
Well, that'd be a good idea. Make sure.
Test it with a smaller craft, yeah. So that's the plan. There's talks of launching and then bring the F9 down there instead. See if they can grab that before
I gotta
they
get
try it
going,
with
guys.
Spaceship. I'm gonna go too. I want to go set up my telescope.
Yep, no worries.
And
Nice talking to you again.
Well,
it's
thank you
your
very much,
daytime,
Dixon.
Kieran. So if you watch
Hey,
it,
Dixon.
Take care, Dixon. And Astro Printer will see you Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
7 p.m.
5
Eastern.
Eastern, okay.
Otherwise, tomorrow afternoon, you got Tim's
Yeah.
Voron or Rat Red continuing.
Well,
5
I
o'clock
might be going live again later tonight if I can get my
With your
stuff
camera,
set up to do a live. I'm going to do live streaming from my telescope, some images from from views from my telescope tonight.
Yeah, that or is Uranus, one or the other.
Sounds good.
I'm going to
Matrix
do
is
Jupiter
high
and
red
Saturn
light.
for sure.
He's
Take care,
gone.
Liam.
Ciao.
1 minute before they get to tag the capsule.
Well, I mean, everything worked, I guess. That's good.
Yeah, good. It's great. That's always good.
Hey, at least it's not Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Maker says he might stream next week. Will anyone show up? Yeah, everybody will show up to your
I
stream.
think we'll show up. If you stream
Everybody's-
next week, we'll
everybody's
show
on
up. Yep.
everybody's channel.
Yep. Non-fams will always lurk in the background. It'll always be there.
So,
Oh yeah, see Tom's here. Hey Tom, how you doing?
hey, so this is that print from that video.
Yep. Oh, okay. You got to keep it. Joel didn't take it home with him.
Yeah, because we only printed one that day, but
Yeah.
you can kind of see along the edge there how it has the
Yeah.
two distinct colors.
Yes.
It's not as pronounced as I would like because of the quantity of the additive that we put in.
But it's a concept. It's a concept. So it's proof of concept.
Yeah,
That's all that matters.
works.
Yep. Yeah. It worked. That's the most surprising thing. It actually worked, and it actually can see the difference. Amazing.
Yeah, now I got to see whether or not it's viable to actually turn into a product.
And how
That's gonna
stable
be-
how stable the color is the next thing. How long will that last? Will it actually break down or stay there?
I don't think it's going to break down because I have stuff from the beginning of this year. I still
it's
have
still holding
plastic.
the color.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I could freeze this and I could get it all to change back to clear, or I'm sorry, to dark.
Right, and if you warmed it up, it'll go back to the clear again, or is it multiple? It will actually multiple times, or will it?
Yeah, you could
fix it?
actually technically recycle this, right? You could grind this thing back up, make new filament out of it, and then freeze it so that it all goes to dark. And then you could print it, and as long as you went above that threshold, it would change that color for those specific areas that you print at the higher temp.
How much filament did you get out of that in the end from when you actually melted it up?
Yeah.
So I got a couple of different spools. This is just straight up that weird material,
Yeah.
just by itself. And then I got these 3 with the additive, but some of them are better than others just because we were tuning in. Those guys over at Protocosta, they're
That was
amazing.
interesting watching that. That was really interesting getting that water bath tune. That was amazing to watch. That was good to see.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. It was tough because some of this stuff it's kind of weird, right? It's some of it's like oblong shaped as opposed to circular.
You get nice the whole time.
So it's
Hello,
kind of
Betty Boop.
a delicate balancing act to get it to come out right.
My dog is acting up because she walked up and popped me in the head right before I turned my camera on. It didn't hurt, but she did it.
Okay, they're at the capsule now. The boats are at the capsule now.
Here's a comment autograph. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah.
That was good.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely fun. I'm just so glad that they actually were willing to take that chance and give it a shot.
That was good of them. Do they have a dedicated set of extruders for experiments and testing?
No,
that
this
seemed to be all set up for that.
So this,
I should need to put them somewhere else. Yeah, I see it.
yeah, they basically set up that line. I guess they recently set up that particular one with the water.
Yeah. For doing something else.
Yeah, because I think they're looking at doing that for the other ones too, potentially here at some point. But yeah, no, that was just a production line. They shut it down for that weekend and had to clean it all out.
Yeah, looking at it, because I wouldn't have thought a water bath would have been a standard option to have for a normal line. But
No, and you know what?
know.
All of them have that. All the ones I've ever seen at commercial places have that, except for the ones I saw over there at Protocosta. They had some ones which were using aluminum to heat sink the stuff away, which was interesting.
Okay.
But
I suppose you want it cooling fast so you can actually spool it, otherwise it'll be sticking and dragging as it runs through. Yeah.
It's not so much you have to worry about the water like getting soaked into it. That's not something you really have to worry about.
Because it's coming through it so fast when you're spooling it, it wouldn't matter. Yeah, it's just probably wicking that heat.
But yeah, so it's kind of fun because I could take this stuff and you can see the color that it is now, right?
Yeah, it's like a light grey. Yep.
So if I go and zap this with some heat, let's see, are we able to get it to clear? It's a sticky mess. Okay, that was a little bit.
A little bit extreme.
Yeah, because this stuff has such a low melting point, it's kind of tough.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gone a bit clearer.
Yeah, I'm just trying
to see. Yeah.
Get it to stick together at least into like a mass I could show. There we are. There we are. Yeah, there we are. So I heat that up. Well, yeah. I should put it through an extruder and do it, but it's definitely sticky.
Yeah, you can see that with Joel when he was getting it out of the extruder. It was all around his fingers, just a mess of goo. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my next model. I'm going to be printing this soon. I see. Well, Sanix is going to be releasing, I think, in a week or so. That'll be cool.
Ooh, look at how detailed that is.
Yep, very nice.
What's that? Oh, the little dragon as his feet. Cool.
Scorpion.
Scorpion.
Well, I thought it was a dragon, but then that's scorpion, so maybe it's a dragon. I don't know.
How the
It's a
heck do
dragon.
you go about?
Well, it's trying-
Looks like a dragon.
How the
Very
heck
nice.
do you go about painting like the scales and stuff on that? That's
Very
going to be a
carefully.
challenge.
I'm not a
Yeah,
professional painter, but yeah, I download pictures, look at them, and grab some colors and try to figure it out. That's how I paint anyway.
Jerry, are you a Patreon of him?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do it every month too for him. I get all those models. I just ain't printed them all.
Huh?
That and
Somebody
my wife don't like the smell of resin. I can't smell it, but she can.
Yeah, most resin I can't smell. I mean, I've had a few that I could, but most of it I can't. I have a Linux air purifier I keep on the floor in that back room, and the only time I would ever be able to smell it is when I first get done with a print. If I left the cover on, I'm not filming it. When I first take off the cover, I can usually smell a little bit.
Does that help? That purifier?
It seems to. I mean, I don't know. I've never ran any kind of meters or anything. I'm assuming it helps.
Well, my wife can smell a turd 8 miles away, so it probably wouldn't do me no good to get one.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I only buy Strytech too. That's the only thing I'll buy. I know it's a little expensive, but that's why I work.
Yeah.
No, I just got the FDM and that's it. That's all I'm allowed. So.
Do you hollow all your prints or make them solid?
I hollow everything 2 millimeters thick, unless it's something really small and it's a waste of time to try to hollow it. I'll leave those solid. But as an example, this DR.DOOM here is all hollowed 2 millimeters thick. The base down here is 2 millimeters thick. You can see the 4 holes I got in each corner. And then the chair is 2 millimeters thick. And then DR.DOOM is multiple pieces. And the only thing I left solid on him were these 2 forearms. Everything of this, there's an arm, this section here, and on this forearm where his hand is. I left that solid. They're so small. The chalice he's holding, I think that's what you call it. I left that solid. But anything fairly large, I hollowed. And the head I hollowed. So save on resin.
Yeah, I need to start. I don't even hollow none of mine. I need to start doing that.
Well, yeah, you'll waste unless you're made of money. I mean, that's not a lot of resin. You know, to print this base solid, that'd take like a whole bottle. That's just way too much resin.
I'm not made of money, but.
And even when you hollow, you still have supports inside because you have supports outside and you hollow it. And you hollow it before you slice it and add supports. And then there'll be internal supports because depending on the shape of a model, you would need supports on the inside. Like if you're doing a head or a mask on FDM and you have supports on the inside of the mask, certain places you got to have supports because it might have a dip in it and there's nothing to support it. You'll have an island. And I don't need to take out the supports. I'm never going to see them. If I was going to print something with inside supports and it was a clear object, like I colored it with ink and ink dye, I might have to leave a big enough drain hole in it so I can bust out all the supports. So when you look at it, you don't see them when you look at it. If it's a clear object.
When you put the supports on, does it do it inside automatically, or do you actually put them in there yourself?
It'll do them automatically, as long as when you first load up the model, you angle it, position however you want. You hollow the model, you put it in the drain holes, whatever size you want, wherever. When you go to the next screen where you add supports, then it puts them in. It'll automatically put them on the inside at that point. If you leave the model solid, you add supports, and then go back to the first screen before you slice it, and then you hollow it. Now there will be no supports, but you usually need them. So I always hollow model before I add supports.
And so that's basically almost kind of like doing an infill pattern on the normal stuff, right? Or is it the tree type structure on the inside?
It's just like on the outside. It's got the tree structure, just like a regular. It's the same thing. Ouch. My knee kind of popped on me. I guess that's old age.
That's better than stepping on a Lego.
Yeah. Yeah, I sometimes I go barefoot in my house and I'll clean up FDM. So I'll step on a screw or a piece of filament or some supports. And that's like a Lego. So yeah, it hurts.
Well, how else are you supposed to find them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get my vacuum cleaner and I plug it in and use the hose attachment. And I go around the floor. And
Clank, 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 picking up all the bits of bolts and screws you've dropped.
Yeah.
So is anybody signed up for the Power Belt 3D beta thing?
I don't know what that is.
So the Power Belt guys, they made a kind of a cheaper, lower end belt printer last year. They shipped them, and I guess they've been selling them for a little while. But they have a new version that they sent out to beta testers who paid like $300 or $400 or something for it.
Uh-huh.
I was just wondering whether anybody had gotten onto that.
I'm not a large enough channel to get on those deals. I don't know. I know that Kaiwu is coming out with their belt printer sometime later this year, and I hope to get to test and review it, but we'll wait and see. They sent me their Max, but it was a returned unit. But that Max sells for like $650, and they sent me one that was a customer return. I had to fix it, and I'm currently printing on it. And that was very nice of them. I got to do more videos on it. I'm kind of backed up on needing to do videos on this and that at the moment. But I should have a video out tomorrow night for the Focus printer that I got. I'll make her thinks Justin's part of that, okay?
Oh yeah. I know. Justin's waiting on his, I think. Yeah, the reason I asked is because we're going to be trying to test the belt slicing software, and we want to make sure that there's some people who test it for that printer.
Well, Crowdy came out with the belt printer, and Crowdy copied the U.S. came out with their belt printer, and then Kaiwu's coming out with one, and however many other companies. So in a couple of years, there'll probably be many companies with many belt printers, and they'll probably print great at some point once they work all the kinks out of them, bugs, going from one company to another.
Yeah, they're not working too bad as of now.
The quality I've seen in the past looked terrible. And then you had two yourself, right?
Yeah. So one of them's over at the Makerspace, and the other one is it's with a buddy of mine who's supposed to be bringing it over to a library. But yeah, it's interesting because everything's an outside wall.
All right, Jerry, I think I'm going to take a break. I've been up since about 5:30 this morning.
All right, Red Light. Well, I thank you very much for stopping by. It's nice seeing you. You're always welcome.
All right, you guys take care.
Take care. Yeah, I'm going to end the stream here in a couple minutes. It's been 3.5 hours.
Jerry.
I usually go 4 hours, but it's starting to slow way down. I'm going to get some dinner, and I didn't sleep much all night. So let me change some screens here. But everybody that's watching, thank you very much for the donation. That's awesome. It'll help me keep a StreamYard Pro going and buying resin and things I need to do projects with. I really appreciate it for the super chats and the people that sent me money over on PayPal. Really awesome. And thank you, Mike and Kieran, for being here, and everybody else that dropped in. Thank you, everybody.
It's always fun to jump in.
So, and I'll try to stream. I'll come back up in a couple of days and try to do more, and then I'll have my regular streams every Saturday. So everybody have a great night. Happy printing. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you, guys.
Cheers, Jerry. Stay safe.
Peace. Bye.